All right, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's good on this little bit rainy Wednesday, May 13th, 10:02. Tons of crazy pitching performances last night. Lots of stuff to check up on. I put a couple prospects that will be on the thumb today as well, so hopefully we'll get to all of that. I should have time for a nice long stream today. Hope everybody is doing well, wherever you are out in the world. Making sure everybody can see me. Can everybody see me? Looks like it. All right. Anyway. Okay. Say hi to a few people here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. What a delivery service. No coffee beans today, so I had to go with the order of the coffee from the trusty green place. Starbucks. Anywho, let me just get rid of some of these things I have here. Hold on one sec. I was messing with my vertical scenes. All right, hope everybody's good. Gore was shoving last night. You know, he's on the list in my head, but he's like kind of a distant fourth or fifth from last night's games. So we'll get there. But yeah, there were some great ones. Hey, Ayo, congrats on the collaboration with June on the evolution of velocity. Any plans for a follow-up on spin? I mean, he just called me to talk to me. So, you know, he makes the videos that he wants to make. And if I can be of service, I'll be of service because he's my guy. But that's about it. I'm definitely going to look at Ewing. Great debut for him yesterday. A lot of good stuff going on, like I mentioned, around baseball. So, very cool, very cool, very cool. All right, let's get going on the standings and everything, and then we'll do this. We'll get it right. We'll get it right. Right now. Ooh, Weatherholt with a bomb. All right. Let's do it. Let me refresh the old standings here. All right. Here we are, Wednesday, May 13th. We are maybe a quarter of the way through the season. That's what it feels like, 25%. So it's 3/4 still left, but 25% is a decent chunk. Definitely do a little bit of an audit come the end of this month. All right, Rays, first place, AL East, best record American League, 28-13, 9-1 in the last 10, winners of 3 in a row. They were 2 up on the Yankees and 11 up on the Red Sox, who we'll watch them against the Phillies, but their offense is looking dreadful lately, unfortunately. AL Central, Cleveland, 1.5 up at 23-21 on the White Sox, who are really close to cracking 500, which is pretty cool. Detroit now in a 3-way tie for last. They look really not good. They're kind of in a bad spot with their pitching. You know, when I really took a chance to look at it on Sunday when I was in Kansas City for their game, I was kind of like, man, like I just don't know how they're going to get through this without having to option people every single day. And hopefully they start getting some of their guys to trickle back in, you know, in the starting rotation. I know Scooble's a ways away, but I'm talking like guys like Melton and Mize, people like that would really help. All right, in the AL West, A's 21-20 in first place, 1 game up on the Mariners. Saw Cal Raleigh finally got a hit yesterday. That's good. Houston and the Angels are tied in last in that Division 6 back. In the NL, the much more supreme division at the moment, Braves have now cracked plus 90 run differential. They are 29-13 and 9 games up on the Phillies and Nats. Mets pulling up the rear, although they are 6-4 in their last 10. So getting a little bit of momentum. I would have liked to see them win that last series in Arizona, and then we really would have something. But I think they're fortunate to be playing Detroit right now, and they need to take advantage of that. So 16-25 for the Mets, 12.5 back. Central, Cubbies, 27-15. They've lost 3 in a row, but they're still 2.5 up on the Brewers and Cardinals. Reds are 5 back. They have not played well as of late. They're 2-8 in their last 10. In the West, Padres are half a game up on the Dodgers, who are suddenly really scuffling. They have lost 4 in a row. Not playing good baseball all around. Nobody's saving them right now. They look like they were off to a good start yesterday. Shohei broke out of the slump a little bit. Yoshi was on the mound, and yet they got beat by the Giants, who have now won 3 in a row. And the Rockies are pulling up the rear in that division at 16-26. It's weird. I feel like all of my oh, okay, they're coming. For a minute there, I didn't know where my chat was. Yep, Bailey Ober, we're going to watch him. We're going to watch Skenes probably first, unless we want to just jump to Ewing for a minute. Did something new happen with Mr. Bauer? Curious. I've been watching his vlogs. I thought his behavior in his last start on the vlog was pretty reprehensible at the umpires, to be honest with you. Like, I get it, you're mad, but you're acting like a bitch. All right. Is traveling to broadcast... Ooh, Jaycito, my guy. Is traveling to broadcast games more or less hectic than traveling with MLB teams? It's more because you're not on the private, but it's less because you don't have to deal with like all the packing of the plane and everything. You can kind of book your own flight, and you can be in and out in the same day if you need to. So it's a little bit different, Jay, but there's nothing like traveling with the boys, obviously. Hey, looking at reasons why Posey traded Bailey away didn't look like a desperate move. His bat isn't average, I know, but only 26 years and only 800 at-bats in the minors. My thoughts on that trade are I think that it's a little bit of a weird play by the Giants, but I think that 29th draft pick was a key get. In a way, they recouped some value in that, and they must really like their young catchers, Rodriguez in particular, and they think they're going to hit a little bit. And I saw this report too. He didn't like how he handled the staff. I mean, he's the #1 defensive catcher by the metrics in baseball, Patrick Bailey. And I think for Cleveland, the calculus is simple. You get the best defensive catcher in baseball. You pair him with Austin Hedges, so maybe he learns how to run a staff a little better. Hedgie is great at that. So now you have 2 elite defenders. I know they won't hit, but if he does hit, he's a superstar. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't, he's going to be cheap anyway through ARB as an elite defender because he's not making any money because he's not hitting. And that's how you get paid in ARB, is hitting. You got to put up numbers to get paid in ARB. So either way, I kind of like it for Cleveland, and it's very telling that they were willing to do it and trade a draft pick because they don't do that. They don't do that stuff at all. They don't trade draft picks. So for them to do that, they really felt like they were winning this trade, and I find that fascinating. Because a lot of people are really down on Bailey, especially with the bats. So we'll see. All right, back to the screen. You like it, Lovs? I'm with you. I can see reasons for both. It's just it was an interesting deal for sure. All right, let me reload this. What were our coffee cup winners yesterday, just to see? Dylan Lyle of the Nationals is our #1 hitter of yesterday. Rosarena #2. Luis Garcia of the Nationals #3. Those are guys with the coffee cups. On the pitching side, Skenes, Ober, Gore. Mclanahan was interesting. Wheeler was interesting yesterday. All those guys were interesting. And then on our prospects, let's check it out. Top prospect scores: Weatherholt, Arroyo, Eduardo Tate, Dakota Jordan, Leo DeVries with a home run, 3-hit night from Sal Stewart. All right, on the pitching side, Woo Sprout. There's Jared Jones. But that's a different Jared Jones, right? I don't know who that is. But 4 innings, maybe that's a rehab start. I don't know. Connor Eaton, Bryce Cunningham. Anyway, let's move it on. Oh, we got something here. If he turns into a regular bat, Bailey will be 2 WAR player. You think the staff themselves would disagree, the Giants staff? I wonder. Elite framing is still valuable, but it's harder to evaluate in the age of ABS. Dude could steal 1 million strikes a mile from outside, but presumably it's not going to work anymore. Framing has been just as important, but another skill now that's now come is the challenging skill. So that's also important. Yeah. Can we watch Shane? Yeah, I was curious about Mclanahan too. I've been thinking about him quite a bit. But, you know, we got to start with Paul Skenes. I mean, Paul Skenes, I thought he was going to throw a no-hitter. I thought I was going to have to make a video last night. He was absolutely cooking the Rockies, as, you know, as teams do at times, especially with the Coors Field hangover effect. You get the Coors Field hangover effect plus Paul Skenes in an outing, you're in deep doo-doo, my friends. So let's watch it. 8 innings, 2 hits, zeros across the board, and then 10 strikeouts and 98 pitches. So he had the pitch count under semi-control to have a shot at you know, completing this no-hitter was if he was able to. So let's watch it. We're going to watch every pitch of this because isn't it funny, though, how Paul Skenes is right back to his career ERA at 1.98 or whatever? Didn't take him long. He's a joke. All right, so 44 four-seamers, 22 sweepers. There's the first time he's really popped the sweeper out to heavy usage in a while, so that's interesting. What's the zone percentage on that sweeper? 45? Okay, changeup 17, 10 of the splitters, 5 more sinkers. I was wondering when he was going to go to more breaking ball because everything he has is on the right side of the chart right now except for that breaking ball, and he just hasn't been using it much. You can tell he had a great day, though. 74% first pitch strikes, 35% whiff, 40% chase. I mean, he was cooking with gas. So we'll get there. I know, so close. We're like 100 and something away, my love. 100 and something. All right, let's do it. Colorado and the Pirates, Paul Skenes. Let's just watch it. We'll watch this entire outing. Here we go. I think he strikes the first 6 guys out. So here's Eduardo Julian, the French-Canadian. All right, four-seamer. Both of those are pulled in. That's up away. That's how to play. Yeah, I see some stuff in the chat about catcher war. Bad hitting pitcher. Catcher war is like really hard to figure out. It's the defensive part of it. So I know Fangraphs is crediting him Bailey with more war than Baseball Reference is. All right, here's the first strikeout. Ooh, gets the chase off the corner. So what did he do there? He just spammed. So he goes four-seam, sinker, foul ball, four-seam, splitter, changeup. Okay, so no breaking balls through the first batter. And he does get the chase off the plate from Julian right there. All right, next batter is Moniak. But in terms of the war stuff, like I just think you got to look at the baseball savant metrics mostly for the defensive component of it, and then try to judge them just offensively on this, because like offensively they'll be comparable to the other players, the other position players, and you can learn from that. But defensively, we don't have that pegged. But I just know Bailey had the most value behind the plate via StatCast the last few years. All right, there's a fastball up to Moniak, doors. It's crazy, 10.5 vert. I really think sometimes we used to be so obsessed with induced vertical break, and it is important, but it's just like the command of it, you see, there's way more at play here. Angles, release heights, velocities, command, tunneling, timing, all of it. So, you know, that's why Paul can throw uphill at 95 or 96 and have it blow a guy's doors off with 10 vert. You know, and some guys will throw 18 vert up there and will get hit. So, yep, there's another one up top. So 3 strikeouts to start the inning. That's also 10.8 vert. But again, it's the location, and he's always ahead in the count. So punches to side in the first, on to the second. Ooh, Daisy, you want to see Daisy? Daisy's not back yet. She'll be back in a little bit, and then I'll bring her on the show for sure.
He also got to see that routine first, if he was actually going to talk to him again or not. But good thing he didn't have to find out.
Carlton Fisk, career WAR of 68.5. Is that like a record for a catcher? I wonder. All right, here's a called strike 3 for the 4th strikeout. This is a down freeze. Didn't even mean to do that, but that's a very effective pitch. So punches the first 4, mainly throwing fastballs here early on. So eventually he's going to start going to the sweepers, but he hasn't done it early.
Well, you know, it's in the 6th inning and they try to bunt for a hit.
She comes around Sunday. She comes home Sunday, Daisy. So she'll be back. She'll be back. Don't worry. All right, back to Paulie. Here's the first sweeper. That's a good take. And now he's going to go backdoor sinker off that. Ooh, learning the Ottavino trick. Ooh, emergency hack, though. Usually you don't get a swing on that. Now he's going to sweep her off that. And now he gets the chase. Yeah, really hard. I mean, obviously this is all I basically did on repeat. But it's really hard to make a swing decision on one pitch that you need it to start like in here, and then another pitch that you need to start over here. It's just really tough reference point. And that's what Paul does here. And even though he gets the emergency swing off on the first fastball, then he comes back with the sweeper and he can't hold up. So that's 5 strikeouts in a row. Here's number 6 to end the second inning. Here is Troy Johnston. Fastball up, beat. Another fastball here. Johnny benches the record, 75-2, and Pudge has 68-7. I mean, those are pretty much the 3 legends, right? I mean, obviously there's Yogi from a different era, but those 3, and then you're looking at like the Buster and Yachty era. Another fastball up. So a lot of really good 4-seam strikeouts above the zone here early in the game. And you know what? If you're going to have weird ball flight, you might as well have it against the Rockies. They don't know what's what anyway because they're constantly moving altitudes. All right, third inning. He's got 6 strikeouts in a row. And Willie Castro decides to try to bunt. Saw this on social media. Paul told him, hey, nice bunt or something. Nice bunt right there is what he says. But, I mean, I get it. You're trying to get on base. It's still early enough where it's not Bush League at all. And unfortunately for Willie, he bunts it right back to Paul. Paul's got the smirk going. Full effect. I think he says nice bunt. It's a good feeling when they have to pull out the gimmicks against you to try to get on base, and that's kind of how he's feeling right there. So that's the first out of the third, and he's going to get a 1-pitch out here too. Wow. Tovar. It's a pretty good swing. That's middle. But just a glancing little blow off the bat. Flies it out to right. So 2 pitches, 2 outs in the third. Wow, beautiful. Speaking of efficiency, just wait. Just wait until you see Zack Wheeler in a little bit. All right. Here is Jake McCarthy. 4-seam strike. Obviously taken there. Doesn't want to make a 3-pitch inning. But it will be a 4-pitch inning as a little sweeper gets peppered in the ground. And that's a beautiful thing, folks. I love a 4-pitch inning. I know we all want strikeouts, but what's better than a 3 or 4-pitch inning? Not much. All right, 4th inning. Back to the top of the order. Paul Skenes, known contact pitcher. That's what you have to develop into. You have to reach pitching nirvana, which is soft contact plus strikeouts, right? So then you're getting both, the best of both worlds, and then you can get deep into the game, but also minimize the damage when you're in the trouble. Ooh, there's a front door sinker from Paul on a 2-1 count. Interesting pitch choice. Actually, a poor location here, but it does work because he doesn't swing at it. So, yeah, I mean, look, Paul wants to throw 200 innings. He wants to win Cy Youngs. Obviously, you could just go out there and try to flamethrower everybody and try to strike out 300, but that is way harder than learning how to get weak contact and then get your strikeouts with 2 strikes. That was a pretty good pass at that by Julian, but he just misses it. This is that same location I mentioned before was a poor location. I knew what I was talking about, but it does work out. So that's a fly out. First out in the 4th. Next batter.
He was a relief pitcher. As a starting pitcher, I would think that would be even harder to have a long.
Oh yeah, Gary Carter. Gary Carter was another one. You're right. And then Piazza, but Piazza couldn't play defense. He just raked, absolutely raked with his big old head. Not signing autographs. All right, 0-2 fastball. Wow. Hits it above the zone. Little line out and a nice, pretty good jump on that ball, I'm assuming, by O'Neill Cruz. This felt like a hit off the bat from Moniak. Yeah, he got a nice beat on that. Nice play by O'Neill there. So 2 outs in the 4th. All right, here's some breaking balls. Hunter Goodman with his Josh Donaldson swing. Comes up empty right there. Fastball up, 96.7. I noticed the long lace on the glove in the previous starts. I remember back in the day, umps used to make guys cut those off. What's the deal? You know, that's like a weird swag thing that I was never really a part of. It wasn't my thing, but I remember a buddy that I played with in Colorado, Christian Friedrich. He came up in a world where, like having the really long string on your glove was like kind of swaggy and kind of cool. And so he tried to have his long time. And I do remember they had him trim it, but they're not telling Paul to trim much at this point. Can we get a look at that? You can kind of see it right there dangling by his pant. It's pretty long. To me, it's just distracting. I like to keep mine short. Anyway, there's the Skenes fastball as he closes out the fourth. Slowed down Hunter to start this at-bat, and then doorses him up top. And he's getting a lot of chase way above the zone. I mean, if they're going to swing at it, you just keep throwing it. You know what I'm saying?
High A Greensboro. Seth was 3-0 with a sub-1 ERA, 35 strikeouts.
That's what Gore has seemed to figure out. You don't need to strike everyone out. So the way I've always looked at it, and I've talked about it a lot on the stream, but this is how I feel about it. The first one is, of course you want to strike everyone out. But the reality is you're not going to strike everyone out. And if you try to strike everyone out from pitch 0, you're gonna have a hard time being efficient. You're gonna have a hard time actually achieving your goal. Your goal is to get to 0-2-1-2. If you get to 0-2-1-2, you seal the deal and you strike them out. But you gotta throw the ball over the plate, generally speaking, to get to 0-2-1-2. So you got to throw pitches that create weak contact, because then if they do happen to hit it and don't get to 0-2-1-2, you want them to get out, and then you can be efficient. So that's the point of doing both. But he's figured that out. Skenes has figured that out for sure. I mean, he's just a freak. Here's the first pitch, changeup, broken bat from Rumfield. Also, he's establishing that he's striking guys out and getting ahead in the count, so you see all these first pitch swings. You want to be able to take advantage of all these first pitch swings and get some really quick outs, because that will get you deeper into the game. There's the split. That's disgusting. 1 vert on that? Are you kidding me? Paul is regressing. Pretty soon he'll hit a 2 ERA and we'll call him washed. Yeah, it's just wild how quickly he got right back to the same level. Like, he had that game from hell to open the season against the Metros, and it didn't seem to matter. He just, it's only May 13th. And he's already back under sub-2 in the, now probably in the pole position for Cy Young, probably ahead of Sale already, as he gets a little pulled ground ball in the sweeper there. Back to Troy Johnston. Fastball in, dotted, perfect pitch.
Only 1-1.
No, I like Mike. I'm friends with Mike. But apparently he didn't sign autographs back in the day. I thought that story was hilarious by Shia LaBeouf or whatever his name is. All right, 2-1 count. I think this is the first base runner. I think he hits Troy right here.
And rarely behind a hitter today.
Yeah, right in the toe. Just crushes him with the changeup. So that's where the perfect game hope died right there. So man on first, 2 outs. And here's Willie Castro. Tries to ambush the fastball, pulls it foul. He's definitely yanking his fastball a lot, but it's not seeming to change any of his effectiveness. And then the sweeper, this is the best his breaking balls looked all season long, which is a scary thought. This isn't even a sweeper. This is a gyro pitch. Negative 3.5, 1.4, unless the metric's wrong. It does look like it sweeps quite a bit, but maybe not that much. Maybe that's just the angle. So is this a gyro slider that he's featuring a little bit here that they're misrepresenting? Ayo, was there a sequence you threw that you can remember that was mean? Not mean, really. No, most of my stuff wasn't mean. Like, when I would strike guys out, most of the time it was looking, and then guys would just kind of be like... They'd just be like, shh, well, okay, I'll just go back to the dugout. Like, it was never mean. I don't think it was too often that I, like, embarrassed too many guys up there. You know what I mean? I think more than often than not, they would just kind of be like, well, he executed. So, you know. I tried to make my sequence kind of foolproof. All right, changeup down. Absolutely hosed to end the inning. I think that's Henry, right? Henry Davis? Yeah, that's Henry. That was a hose. That's what he's been known for. I remember I played catch with this guy back in the day during the pandemic. He's got an absolute cannon. I mean, that's a sick throw. Can we get a look at it from behind the plate? Yes, Henry. Nice feed, nice feed. All right, that's it for the 5th inning, 6th inning. So Castro saw 6 pitches there, 5 or 6 pitches there. Now he gets to see some more.
He struck out the first 6 hitters, second time in the 6th inning. He was batting in the culminate against Skenes.
I mean, look, that first game was totally only thing that he was lacking in that game was the put away pitch. He pitched fine. There was just horrible defense behind him. There was like 3 horrible defense and a bunch of bloopers. Beatty had the big swing, but you know, it was terrible defense. So I was never worried about Skenes. I was just like, man, he had the game from hell. Here's a really nice changeup for a strikeout of Castro. He's got to be one of the best I've ever seen versus lefties of actually getting the ball where you want, which is like right here. Like a lot of guys try to go there and they just throw balls. They just throw balls over here all day long. That's what I did a lot. I just had a hard time nailing this spot, but he has no problem nailing the spot, or you pull it to the middle. And you think about it, this is a perfect pitch, but there's a lot of risk reward here. Balls are right here all over the place. If you pull it to the middle, this is danger zone. But he doesn't have a problem achieving this location. He hits it all the time. So that's a strikeout to start the 6th. Next batter up.
It still sticks with me. Hannah had a report earlier about Logan Webb and his comments about Skenes. And I mean, one of the more talking about Skenes,
Ezekiel Tovar.
Work ethic and preparation. And
all right, so ball 1, ball 2. This is his first 2-0 count as far as I can remember.
His career earned run average is
Little challenge heater up and in. I would throw that same pitch again. This time he just dots the outside corner. And now, probably above the zone here. Yeah, I mean, just beautiful location of those last 3 fastballs. You know, the challenge heater, I love what he did here. The challenge heater, he went in here on the 2-0. So that's a tough pitch on the challenge. That's by effective velocity, that's the fastest one. Then on the next one, he painted it here. And then when he needed the strikeout, he got to right above the zone. So all 3 really good locations, including this finishing move, this fastball up. And he's done this the whole game today. Or last night, I should say. Just punching guys out with fastballs up. Very effective fastball up. All right, Jake McCarthy, 2 outs in the 6th. Change up away. Here comes a backdoor sweeper. I think this was the biggest thing last night. He had command of his breaking ball. And that's, you know, he's great without it. When he has it, it's crazy. All right, just misses there. Now he's going to go to that changeup for 3-1. And he's got to work his way back in here. I mean, like, how do you get a swing on that? What are you swinging for? I don't get it. You're not hitting this pitch. It's also nasty, but I don't get what he thought he was getting here. All right, 2-2. Here comes 98. This might be his best bolt of the night to date. Another fastball up. Good attempt. Splitter off of that. Little dribbler foul. And then he's going to punch him with a changeup. Wow. Accidental front door, maybe? Yeah. So, faces the minimum through 6. There's a hit batter who got erased with the caught stealing. And you know, no hitter through 6, and the pitch count's under control. This is pitch 77. This is when I started to think, oh, video's coming because no hitter's coming tonight. This is the night. All right, so here's the 7th inning. Edward Julian. Changeup. That's pretty hard hit, but right to the first baseman. So that's the first out of the 7th. And then I think he loses it right here, right? Maybe. Here's Moniak. Changeup off the plate away. Sweeper in 2-0.
Cruz made a nice play on him.
Splitter for a foul ball, and then here's the first hit. It's another split. O'Neal Cruz is coming, and this ball just keeps fading, and he just doesn't quite get there, and then the no-hitter is lost. It's a little base hit, 85-5. Now, the other one that Moniak had hit that Cruz was able to run down was like 93, so it carried out there far enough. This is just good placement. I feel like he gets a good jump at it. I like the effort. No complaints there. Unfortunately, he loses the no-hitter. I'm pretty confident Paul will get one at some point. But, man, game of inches. Base hit right there. We'll watch it one more time.
Yeah, probably so. Out to Cruz again. Closing fast, and it's down.
All right, so that's the end of that. And now we're back to our regular schedule programming. Hunter Goodman, that's Bayou. Blue Bayou, Linda Ronstadt. Next pitch away, 1-1. So 3 fastballs in a row to Goodman. Interesting. Gets in on the hands and pops them up. Easy play there. 2 outs in the 7th. And here is Rumfield. Backdoor sweeper, strike 1. Ooh, pick off, whatever. Comes a changeup.
Not just perfection. I mean, I
kind of out early and fouls that one off. And then another fastball here. Doesn't get it as high as he wants. But O'Neill's able to run that one down as he got in on him just a little bit. 93-5. O'Neill was playing in the off gap here. This is a nice play by him. He had to cover some ground here. We've been very critical of him in the past, but he's played some pretty good defense in this game. All right, we go to the 8th inning.
Oh, it was in the air tonight. Another no-hit bid for Skenes.
First pitch strike. Change up off that, right on right to Tyler Freeman. Gets the ground ball. Connor Griffin. Ooh, nice play, Connor Griffin. Paul approves, gives him the little nod. One superstar prospect to another. This is a nice play. Fields it off the right foot, but puts a lot of pepper on it. So you can see the throw tool there. Very nice by Connor. 1 out in the 8th. Paul approves.
much shorter throw because of the angle to that ball.
Sweeper ball 1 to Troy.
First 2 innings of the game, he didn't need anybody.
Fastball up, gets a chase. I mean, they're just so expecting him to throw strikes. And it's such a cheat code when you get to that point. There's the 2nd hit of the game. So at least it was 2 hits. He doesn't lose it by 1 hit. Good hustle by Troy, getting himself to second base with the double. That was a pretty good swing on the changeup. Pulls it in a little bit. So yeah, that's probably why he's able to get to it, because it's a little bit inside. But good swing. So man on second, 1 out. And an immediate 1 pitch out of Willie Castro. Sweeper down the middle. That pitch has been very valuable. I don't know what's going on. He's not getting a lot of sweep. -5.9. Kind of an interesting thing there. I have to check the metric after this. And then here's his last batter as he completes the 8th. So it's 8 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts, no walks, only 2 hits allowed. ERA for the season goes under 2. He hit 98, but he basically lived at what, 95, 96 most of this game. The sweeper, I think this is the biggest area of growth this season in terms of like what we've seen from the beginning to the end. Now he got the sweeper rolling, so he's got all his tools at his disposal. It's just amazing his career to date. I'll have to say that. Okay, what's the movement profile on this sweeper? I hesitate to even call this a sweeper. 4 and 8. So it averaged 8 horizontal. Okay. Year average 10. It was just a shorter version, but you know what? Whatever he did, he threw more strikes with it, and he was more... Got a bug in here. He was more accurate with it. Gyro slider, best kind of slider, says Gyro. 88-91. But man, I just can't get my head wrapped around how consistent he's been. He almost never beats himself. You know, and he's pretty hard to beat. And honestly, this year, if you really look at it, he's got a .64 whip right now. Nobody's ever started off their career quite like this. I actually had something useful in the Discord to find that. Here it is. This is, what is this chart? Sorry. This is lowest ERA, first 64 career starts since 1920. So there it is. Paul Skenes, #1 with a 1.97. Doc Gooden, who was the previous, rookie rocket ship type guy when he burst into league, 204. Didn't realize Oral Hershiser was that good when he was that young. 209. Howie Pollitt, I don't know who that is. Vita Blue. Phil Necro's in here. Gator. Ron Guidry, my guy. Tom Seaver, the franchise. Jerry Kuzman. So a lot of Mets on this list. That's 3 Mets in the top 12. That's wild. Plus Matt Harvey is 18th. Other notable recent pitchers is Jose Fernandez is probably the most recent one. The great Jose Fernandez, who's 14th all-time with a 2.43 through this stretch. But, I mean, I just can't get over how consistent he has been. Paul, I don't really understand it because baseball's hard and things happen. things happen out there. You know, sometimes you have the inning from hell, but he doesn't seem to have it very often. He's got that Mariano-like quality where more often than not, the things do tend to go his way, you know, in the early going of his career. Let me see if I can't check him out in reference real quick, because yeah, he's already at 15.3 WAR, and he's not even done with his third season yet on Baseball Reference, which is crazy. Who do they even compare him to at this point? Yeah, they don't even have anybody like realistic to compare him to yet. Similar pitchers. There's really nobody that we've ever heard of that are anywhere even close to him. The only notable name on here, pitchers through 23, is Mike Mussina as the number 10th most comparable pitcher through age 23. But eventually this is all going to be Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux type of stuff at some point. But man, he's on his way to just an all-time career. To get off to this start is kind of insane. 22, 23, 24, especially if he can go on to winning the Cy Young this year. On the season right now, he's walking only 1.3 per 9, which is lower than his career average, which was already great. His strikeout to walk ratio is 8 right now. That is very much Jacob deGrom territory. The whip is a joke. He's leading the league in whip over the last 2 years. I don't really have a lot to say. He's just that good. I mean, everybody should be in awe of him, really. Paul David Skenes. What can I say? Guy's a beast. So that's it for Skenes. He continues to show us why he's the man, you know? What a beast. Otto threw meatballs to Justin Turner. What are you talking about? Justin Turner didn't do much. Off of me. Thurman Munson, 46.1 WAR. What could have been? Love Henry Davis, best high school player I've seen in 10 years here. Yeah. All right, speaking of the Mets, because we'll look at the rookie AJ Ewing next. Mets felt pretty good until Lindor took a nasty hit to the head sliding into home plate. Season spiraled after that. I know people speculated he got a concussion from that, but no way to know. Yep, no way to know. No way to know. We'll see. We'll see what's up with the Mets if they can continue to play ball at a little better rate. So here he is. AJ Ewing made his debut last night, 21 years old. Drafted in 2023. The 134th overall pick in that draft. 5'10", 160. Fast guy. Fast guy. That's the big deal with AJ Ewing. He's now currently the number 2 prospect. Who the heck is this texting me? Hold on. Oh, just somebody from the Danbury Westerners thing. Somebody from the Danbury Westerners thing. No, nothing. I'll write him back later. This guy's been writing me a lot, and I just keep ignoring him for the most part. No, there's just like,
Okay, you're on a chat.
yeah. All right, AJ Ewing, scouting grades 55 hit, 40 power, 70 run, which has come up big. He's been a big stolen base threat in the minors, and we saw a little bit of that last night. Arm 50, fielding 60. So he goes ahead and gets the start in center. They keep Benjamin right yesterday. He ended up being the compensation pick for letting deGrom leave for the Rangers. So it's nice when that works out. But, you know, the stats are kind of undeniable for him on the way up the last 2 years. In 2025, he batted a cumulative .315 last year with an .830 OPS and 70 steals. And then this year, he was tearing the cover off the ball between AA and AAA. .339, .961 OPS with already 17 steals. So people were asking me yesterday, is this like a desperate move or whatever? I mean, yeah, it's desperate. They need something to work, but I don't mind them doing it because they need to get better. You know, they need to get better. And right now, like Ibanez and Slater, they're not really moving the needle. Like this guy maybe moves the needle, and he has speed, which is something at least you know, that they can utilize if he can get on base. Obviously, that's the big if, but bring a little bit of a different dynamic to the team. And he did get on base 4 times in his first game. which is pretty awesome to see. Where'd they hit him? 8th last night. Ends up going 1 for 2, 2 RBIs, 3 walks. So let's go take a look at his at-bats. Obviously, most of them are going to be walks, but still. Detroit and the Metros. All right, first at-bat versus Jack Flaherty. 2 on, 1 out, down 2.
I'd have to say AJ played just 12 games in AAA after being promoted in April. And he takes a bat.
All right, 2-0. Nice hack at that first 4-seam. Little under it, obviously, but pretty good hack here. Yeah.
Cut at that fastball, and he fell.
All right, so unlike Benj, who I've at length talked about how I think his setup's a little too, like, it takes him too long to get into his launch. Here's Ewing. A little more spread out. Not a whole lot going on there. Little bit of a stride forward. Let's see how far. So for reference, hold on, let me get to yellow. So yeah, so it's right here, and then let's see where the stride goes. That's not bad. Minimal stride is going to allow him to rotate pretty efficiently through. Bat path, not a ton of shoulder tilt. It's a contact approach, but I like that. That's going to give him a shot against velocity, which I think is important in the first run through the big leagues, because if not, people just spam you with fastballs. All right, gets an unlucky called strike there. Here comes a curveball, tipped foul. What's up, Babinski? Fastball away, and then he's going to draw his first walk and get on base in his first career plate appearances with a pretty good takedown. You know, that Jack clipped the zone earlier. There's the family. I believe this is the dad right here. They kept showing him yesterday on the broadcast. Pretty cool that everybody got there in time. This guy's recording, yelling on his phone. All right, so that was the first at-bat. Here's his second at-bat versus Jack. Slider ball, and he's going to get out here on a fastball. Middle. Put a decent charge into that. 102.3 at 30. I don't think he's going to be the type of guy who's going to have a lot of center field power, but that was a pretty good pass at that. He hit this ball pretty well.
Through 3 innings. And Ewing hits one well to center field. Back goes Fearling.
Yep, just misses that. So, good swing, though. Good swing. All right, third at-bat. Now he is facing Birch Smith. First pitch, curveball strike. Nobody on here. 1 out. In the 6th, this is before the Mets blew it wide open. So, curveball, changeup.
That the Mets have a lot of talent coming up through this system. Just tonight, Jack.
Fastball up.
Jonah Tong's pitching well down there. Nick Morabito's playing well. Ryan Clifford is playing well.
It's a good take. He hasn't been expanding the zone at all yet, which is, I think, kind of rare enough in a debut. So he takes this fastball in the inner half. Makes me think he was looking for something away. But usually in the debut, you're a little jumpy for sure, which makes sense. And then here's the second walk. Let's see this pitch. Honestly, that's a pretty good take. It doesn't even trigger at it at all, and it came out as a strike. It was only a ball right from here, so that's pretty late. Pretty good take there. I'm going to look at his prospect savant after this to see what his chase rate and everything looks like. All right, here comes the first career hit. It's a triple. I think he's the first Met ever with a first career hit being a triple. Cutter away, left on left. Here's a sinker. Hammers it. Pulls it and hammers it. They're 104.2, so he hit 2 balls over 100. For a guy who's considered to have no power, he's hit some balls hard on a line. So what are they, holding on the runner here? Is that why this gets through so easily? Yeah, holding him on. Just burns it down, and then he's known for his speed. I mean, he's not even running hard to home to first, and then he just kind of coasts all the way to third, turns it on from second to third a little bit. Stand-up triple for the kid. Very, very cool. Let's watch that one more time.
Pulled down. A base hit for Ewing. His first major league hit. It'll roll to the wall. Let's watch it run. Beatty goes to third. He's going to be waved around.
Yeah, a little bit of a juggle out there, but he was probably going to make it to third anyway. So that's first career hit. It's a triple for AJ Ewing. Very, very cool. And then the last at-bat, he walks as well. Bases loaded. He's getting Vanasco in this game. So just a really good debut, you know. Good vibes all around. He contributed, got on base 4 times. Stuck him out in center. And all the reporting is that he's going to be here to play every day. Righties, lefties, shouldn't matter. So that's the best possible way you can get launched into the big leagues. You're not getting interrupted at bats. 3-1. No desire to swing on anything middle in 3-1. That's twice, which is interesting. And then he's going to walk on this one. Bases loaded walk. He's spit on some low pitch as well. So very good game for AJ in his debut. And yeah, now we got 2 young bucks manning center field and right field for the Mets. Let's go see if we can find AJ Ewing on here. He wasn't around very long in AAA, so there's not going to be a ton of data with this, but let's see what the Prospect Savant is saying. Exit velocity, 61st percentile, max EV 60th. Barrel percentage, pretty good down there. Hard hit, a little below average. K percentage, tremendous, 96%, only a 9.8% K percentage. Walk percentage wasn't there, but that's just a small sample because look at the chase. 81st percentile chase, which is great. He doesn't swing and miss very often. It's clear that power is not a part of his game, but he's enough of an athlete to make it part of his game on pull side. Zone contact, really high rating. Doesn't swing and miss very often. Speed's tremendous, 98th percentile speed. So this is a very interesting player who really rocketed himself up there really well. Really, really well. What'd you write?
I'm not sharing what I write while you're publicly on almost 10,000 subscribers.
Oh.
Recording later.
Okay.
But are you free for a call at 12:30? I'm saying yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 12:30.
Today?
10 minutes.
12:45. Because I might go over today. All right, batted ball profile, 24% pull, 48% straight, 26% oppo. So he likes to stay to the big part of the field. You can see it in his AAA spray chart. You know what's tough about this heat map is I don't know what direction this is facing, which is kind of funny. But he looked really good. He looked really, really good. Born in 2004. That's insane. These kids are getting young, Brett. 2004. Born in 2004 in the majors. Born in 2004.
That's crazy. How old is that?
21.
The major.
In the majors. Called up yesterday by the Mets.
No.
21 years old.
That's
9 months, 3 days.
That's hot.
2004.
Goodness.
I was in college.
It's really cool.
It's crazy.
It's fun.
All right, so that's it for the kid. All right, we got some stuff in the chat here. Still going back to the Skenes. Have you noticed how Skenes throws from the third base side of the rubber against lefties? Yeah. Yeah, he moves around. He likes to be first base side versus righties and third base side versus lefties. And I think he's just trying to create as much of a right to left angle as possible, just to be a little different, which is funny because I should have maybe done a little more of that. I moved over to the first base side versus lefties because I wanted to command the inside part of the plate against them better. And in some of my best years, that would prove to be a good adjustment. But going from the other side, I do get it. You're creating more of a steep angle. I think it's going to be harder to read that sweeper out of your hand. You're creating a little bit of a different tunnel, you know, where your fastball can trend right to left into the zone and then the sweeper can come off of that. So I feel like that's pretty cool.
I'm going to shower.
All right, I love you. So I think that's kind of what's going on with Paul. I don't think Paul's scared of much. And why would you be? You're not giving up any hits. You're giving up 4.5 hits per 9 so far to open this season. All right, speaking of really good pitching performances, there was plenty of them yesterday. The next one I want to watch is Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler, Phillies and Red Sox. Incredibly efficient in this ball game. He only threw 87 pitches through 7 1/3 in this game and allowed 1 run. Also, while we're here, we'll probably watch Schwarber hit a home run in like a fifth or sixth consecutive game. He's up to 967 OPS. But it's about Zack Wheeler, particularly the first 3 innings. I think he threw 17 pitches in the first 3 innings, which is wild. All right, so here it is for Wheels. 34 fastballs, averaging 95-1, 19 sinkers, 10 splitters. So in a way, that's sort of a 3 fastball plan. He's also got some cutters mixed in there. And then 9 sweepers, 9 cutters, 6 curveballs. Plenty of first pitch strikes. Actually, not a lot of whiff at all. So surprising he got 7 strikeouts with this little amount of swing and miss in his game from this game. Did get 2 whiffs on splits, a couple on the 4-seam. All right, Boston and Philly from Fenway, I believe. Zack Wheeler. Check out the first 3 innings, which we'll watch all the pitches of, and then we'll go from there, one decision pitches at a time. But incredibly efficient outing from Zack here. So 4-seam and then right to cutter here versus Duran. Interesting cutter shape. 11.5 lift, 3.7. So it's not actual cut, it's just perceived cut. Yeah, it sure looks like it's cutting because of this angle-ish with how wide away from his body his arm is. But it's not actual cut, so it's sort of a weird pitch, helped out by the fact that it's 93 miles an hour with huge extensions. So 2 pitches and the first out, Jaron Duran. Then another 2-pitch out coming here to Mickey Gasper. Not sure how Mickey Gasper found his way in the 2-hole for the Red Sox, but he did. So ball 1, here's fastball in, pops it up to right. Can of corn for Adolis. And now to Wheeler. 4-seam away strike, and then to the split. Pretty good pass at that, but he gets it off the end, flips it out to Marsh. That's a 6-pitch first inning, 2 pitches for each of the batters. Let's take a closer look at this splitter. 17.3 to the right, 1.7 vert. That's a nice shape, especially off of what his fastball does. And he gets it to the Skenes corner, that down and away corner that we've been talking about. So that's the end of the first inning. Second inning is also going to be quite efficient. Here is Masa. First pitch, fastball away. Second pitch, hit by pitch. Cutter in, similar metrics, still no actual cut, even though it kind of looks like it. You see that? So leadoff man on, and here is Story. Probably pound him with sinkers, I'm guessing. Sinker at the top, strike 1. Sinker. Yep, double play ball. You kind of felt it coming. So I never pitched in versus the righties very often, except when I needed a double play. This is the area you want to go with a sinker. You want to get right in here, especially down here. You're going to get a ton of one hopper to third. Sometimes they catch you a little out further and they rip it to shortstop, and that's exactly what Trevor does here. It's just hard to for the righty to beat you to the spot there, and that's how you get him on the ground for the double play. So good execution there by Wheeler and a double play. And then it's another 2-pitch at bat here to Sadon. First pitch fastball above the zone gets the chase for strike 1. Now he's going to go sinker in. Blows him up really bad. Trey comes and gets that. So, man, I think it's 2 pitches to all of the first 6 batters he faces. And then the third inning, we got a first pitch out here from Marcelo on a curveball. Actually, it's a hit. First pitch, hit on a curveball. So, gonna erase with another double play probably. Here's Narvaez. 4-seam away, probably sinker in coming here. Yep. Let's see if that works. Good location. Actually a good swing by Narvi, but doesn't get the result he wants. Flies it out to Crawford. And there is 1 out in the third, and then a first pitch out here to Durbin, and that's going to be a double play. So again, that sinker plan. They know you're going to throw strikes. They're aggressive at the plate. You can get a lot of quick outs. That's also 21 inches to the right of run from Wheeler. Totally blown up.
Stop with the flip, got one under first. Close and got him with the double.
All right, so really hyper efficient. 17 pitches, I believe, through 3 innings, which is just sets yourself up for success. All right, let's go to the rest of his outing, but this time we'll just watch the decision pitches. 4-seam up, doors on Duran. So I know he's not sitting 98 right now like he was probably prior to his surgery, but he's still 95, 96 with crazy extension. It's so flowy. He's got command. He's got pitches. This is a best case scenario comeback off of TOS for the Phillies and for Wheels. He's really, really good. That's why I think he's one of the true bona fide aces in the sport. There's a split away for a hit by Abreu. He's going to finish his 4th inning getting out Masataka. That ball's actually right down the middle, so a little fortunate there to end the 4th. 5th inning, first pitch out from Story, another sinker in. Once again, same result. Can't beat him to the spot. That's a frustrating day at the yard. You know, you get that sinker rammed in on you, and you get some quick outs. So beautiful there for Wheeler. Here is Sadon. Ooh, right on right split. We might need to watch the sequence of this at bat because that's a filthy finisher. When he's going good, it's got to be so tough to sit on anything. He's got, if you're trying to play along, you're just not going to succeed. I agree. I think you need to abandon trying to play along against Zack Wheeler, and you need to try to sit dead red on something, some sort of pitch you think you can hit and cheat to it. Because he's too good, him and JT are too good at understanding where you are once you give them some evidence throughout the at-bat. I mean, he's getting guys to swing off the plate, which is huge. So yeah, he got him to swing off the plate in on sinker, and I'm going to explain to you why this was such a good combo and why this was so dynamic. All right, this is a 2-1 sinker in off the plate. You tell me, is the batter early?
That would certainly help them in a big way, but
he's way early. You can't pull a ball that far foul if you're not way early. So you're sped up to catch the ball out front here, right? And then because you're way early, he's sped you up so much that he's going to throw a pitch out of the same lane, but instead of it staying there, it's just dead fishing on the way to the plate. That's this splitter. And so he just spins himself into the ground, and that ball drops below the barrel. It's perfect pitch choice, perfect execution by JT and Wheeler there for the strikeout of Sadon. All right, here is Marcelo. He's going to get him out with a cutter. Perfect location on the cutter. That's the other reason why I'm so high on Wheeler too, is he has great locations. I mean, look at this location on this cutter. Look at that. You can't do anything with this pitch. Nothing. Zero. Zip. Jam City. Trey's got it. All right, that's it for the 5th. 6th inning. Narvaez. Splitter coming right on right here. Ground ball to Trey. Splitter down in has that same effect as sinker down in. You get a lot of ground balls to the left side. You overload the infield a little bit over there. Not with the real shift anymore, but just by moving them over. We got a good look of his grip in the glove here. Looks like he's got a split grip with the fingers added on the side. Okay. So it's a little bit of a Gaussman, albeit not as good, but that's kind of the idea. So 1 out there. Here's a called strike 3 on a backdoor sinker to Durbin. Can I help you? Nope. Just browsing. You're out. And then he's going to punch out Duran on a curveball down. Can't hold up on that. Beautiful pitch. And that's the first curveball we've even seen him use effectively. So through 6 innings, nada happening. Here is the 7th inning. Mickey Gasper gets into a 3-1 count, the first one we've seen of the day. And Mickey lasers that into right. So maybe he should have been in the 2-hole, to be honest with you. Also, elite mustache on Mick. Line drive to right. Base hit. All right, 3-2 count to Abreu, and he's going to go sweeper. Big time swing, but that's deep out there. Caught right in front of the bullpen. 105.6 at 32 doesn't get out. I'm surprised this didn't get out. Was this supposed to get out? This is a good swing by Wheeler. That's a mistake right there. That ball was supposed to be backdoor. It came middle down in. Wonder how many ballparks. 380 to right. I mean, that's long gone in some parks. That's very fortunate. And that's also, I mean, a little bit playing to where you're playing. So nice play there.
Fly ball center
Sweeper
field,
middle
right
down,
across.
fly out to center. So now he
Masataka
gets a
with the
1
2
pitch
down.
out of Masataka. Doesn't shy away from the sweeper despite the good swing by Abreu. And now here's Story.
Ground ball through for
And
base
you know
hit.
what? It's funny because it's kind of the same pitch that he got him out with the first 2 times. It's the sinker down, except this one's not all the way in. And he still pulls it on the ground, exactly what you're anticipating. But this time, you know, the BABIP gods smiled on Trevor as it got through the hole. So first and second,
So Story
2 outs
is
here
on
in the
gas.
7th, and that's going to bring up
Wheeler with a
Sadon,
2-1.
and this is how the first run is scored.
Little floater
Beats him
toward
again,
right.
sinker in, but
Down
this
for
time it's a
base
little bit
hit.
elevated, so he doesn't get it on the ground. He's able to flick it into
Mitchell
right,
score throw to third won't get him, and a run is in.
and that's going to drive in the run, make it 2-1. And let's watch this hole at bat as he has to pitch through this now. Game on the line here in the 7th. Marcelo Meyer, fastball up. Strike 1.
And the 0-1.
Splitter here.
That's a strike.
Perfect. To the Skenes location. Dotted away. So that's 0-2. And then he's going to get him out with a 4-seam. I'm sure they're going up with it. And he gets it up. Honestly, it's a great swing by Marcelo.
Has it. That was a
Very
home run.
fortunate to get through that. I actually think the Red Sox put some great swings on him in this at-bat. Third time through, they did a nice job adjusting against Wheeler. You know, I think of the Abreu swing. There was this one in particular is crushed, and this ball's above the zone. Look how flat Marcelo comes through on this. So I know he gets out, but that's an encouraging swing.
Turner has it. That was a bullet. But for out number 3, Red Sox
Man,
had some
bad luck for the
swings, and
Sox
they
there.
win.
8th inning comes out for the 8th. Gonna immediately give up a hit to Narvaez. It's the exact same type of hit that Rafaela got. It's that sinker in, but this time it's a little bit elevated. They're able to bloop it over to right. Base hit there. And this is his last batter. It's a 1 pitch out to Durbin. Also a pretty good swing. Just misses it though. Flies it out to center. 95. So, tremendously efficient outing. Made some big pitches when he needed to. 7th inning, you could tell that the Red Sox adjusted pretty well to him. But overall, Wheeler's off to a nice start in his return to the big leagues. He really is. He's off to a very nice start. And this was a very, very good outing. Alvarado and Duran came in and did the rest, and they were able to win it 2-1. Here's Wheeler's stats through his first 4 starts back off of injury. 2-0, 2.55, 4 starts, 24 innings, 22 strikeouts, .93 whip. Everything basically right in line with his usual self, minus a little bit of velocity and a little bit of strikeout. So, you know, he's just been unbelievable the last few years, ever since he got to Philly, and it's like he's got the game totally mastered. Easy cheese, you know, that 7-2 extension doesn't hurt. The mixture of pitches is crazy. The game plan's gotten really good. Him and JT have such a feel back there. And he just picked up where he left off. So that's really good news for the Phillies, who are in the same boat as the Mets. You know, they're doing better now, but they're trying to get back in this thing, and they're going to do it on the strength of their pitching. And to get Zack Wheeler back this early in the year playing well is not a small thing. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. So that's really, really cool for the Phillies. All right, I'm going to go in the chat for a second, then we're going to watch Schwarber hit another home run, take a look at his page, and then we'll go there for a minute. Skenes and Seth Hernandez 1-2 punch just seems lethal. I'm excited about Seth Hernandez too. He was my favorite player in the draft last year. I wouldn't have been afraid to take him #1 overall, even though he's a high school righty. So I believe in him big time. But I'm going to pump the brakes for a second because we don't know what he's going to look like yet in the big show. So let's let him get a little bit closer, as I know he's trending that direction. But yeah, that could be lethal. You know, he's got an unbelievable arm and a really good changeup, so I'm excited to watch him. Obviously, Skenes. You know, Pirates have a lot riding on this year. They got to make the postseason, or you know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that asset, as in Paul Skenes. At some point, you got to pony up and just pay the man, right? I don't know. Otherwise, you're going to have to trade him and try to recoup everything possibly. Will Skenes be on the Pirates by the time Seth makes the big leagues, though? It's a fair question, and we'll have to see. Here's something. With the increase of right-handed pitchers picking guys off first, I'm left wondering how many grew up playing Dance Dance Revolution. Yeah, the little quick feet. The quick feet are healthy for sure. Could probably have got it done if they put an actual this is something else. Last year, the Yankees allegedly offered Schlittler, Warren, Dominguez, and Jones for Skenes. Even with Schlittler's emergence, I think you keep Skenes. Man. It's a little hard looking at that now because Schlittler and Warren are legitimate guys. They're dudes. They're really, really good, and they're young and they're cheap. Dominguez, we don't know what he is, but he would play every day for the Pirates, I would assume. And Jones, we don't know what he is. But I don't think they're ready to quit yet. I think they wanted to see what they had this year, and I think they know that packages similar or better will still be available if they need to, down the line. Could have probably done it if they put an actual prospect in there instead of Jones. So, like Lombard, but then it's like they already had Connor. Yankees, it would have been probably you put Elmer in there or Legrand. Legrand might have tipped it a little bit, to be honest. I think Legrand might have tipped it a little bit. All right, as for this game as well, another home run by Schwarbs. Let's watch this at bat. This is, I believe, the 5th straight game with a homer. He is the Murakami prototype, the one that Murakami hopes to become. The one who consistently can not chase, but also do amazing things in the slugging department. All right, so here's the homer. 2-1 four-seamer, left on left. I also feel like the Red Sox really effed up back in the day by not re-signing Schwarber. I was on the team with Kyle in 21. His impact was massive, not only individually, but also on the team, in the clubhouse with the other batters. It's funny because he only hit this one 101-6 at 29, and yet this one got out, and Williers didn't get out when he hit it harder, albeit at a higher launch angle. But he's just been unbelievable hitting homers, and he's going to get to probably 500 homers if you're not paying attention. He's probably going to get there. All right, so there's Schwarbs. Let's watch him from third base. Hold on. Sorry. We'll go slow-mo on that. He keeps it so simple up there, which is what you should do. Bomb City, Kyle Schwarber. He also had a walk, which is part of his game too. So that's what I was mentioning a little bit with Kyle. Just, the Murakamis of the world, the Spencer Joneses of the world, this is like what they're going to aspire to be at their fully formed level, is a guy like Kyle Schwarber who can, hit in the mid to low 200s, but still have a very good on base and still hit for 1 million home runs. Like last year, 56 home runs, 928 OPS. This year, he's at 967 OPS, on pace to eclipse all that. 17 home runs to lead the big leagues. It's just a great piece to have. And obviously, the biggest component of that is the chase rate and the walk rate. If you can keep those where they need to be, and you already have the power and the bat speed and all those types of things, that's a good place to be. You can even afford to have miss in the zone. Like his 16th percentile whiff is obviously a lot of whiff. There's a lot of strikeout in there, but it's mostly in zone, which means pitchers have to keep challenging you in zone to get you out. They can't get you to expand. They can't get you to not take your ace swing because you're dinking at some random stuff outside the zone. And eventually, they're going to connect, and they're going to hit a lot of home runs. And that's what Kyle Schwarber does. And that's why he's so valuable and why he continues to be valuable. Not to mention all the intangible stuff, too, which I'm telling you because I've been around him. He's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. I feel like my chat is like so far delayed. Yeah, I was looking for all these comments earlier that I'm seeing here. It's weird, like my OBS was like super delayed. So now I'm getting all your comments. Had no clue Schwarbs was raking like that. Lots of sluggers don't seem to square it up much. Seems counterintuitive. Well, because they're swinging so hard. You know what I mean? Like, they're swinging so hard, and like, it's like anything else in life. Like, once you get over a certain threshold, you're sacrificing a little bit of accuracy for power, right? So it's the same thing. But yeah, here it is. Gyro's on it. So he's answering the question the same way I just would have. At this point, he probably gets to 500 and maybe competes with Poppy and Edgar for best DH of all time convo. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Just got back from job interview. What's up, Maya? Now it's time to get into baseball mind. Did I look at AJ? Yes, I did. I like the speed. I like the swing. I'm excited that he's going to get a chance here. I think it's cool. You know, I think it's great. So that ball by Wheeler off the bat was home run in 29 of 30 ballparks, virtually a no-doubter. Home run in every park but Fenway. Man, that's tough. That's tough. We still don't have a great idea of how Arias has improved his defensive metrics, but he's done way better so far in this year, and we know that we got to give Ron Washington some credit more than likely, but it's crazy. All right, so we just looked at Schwarbs. We've looked at Ewing. We looked at Skenes. Who else did I have on my list today? It's time to look at the Maddox from Bailey Ober yesterday. Yeah. Bailey Ober, Maddox. So since it's a Maddox, we'll probably watch it all. You know, normally you get a whole video for a Maddox, but it was pretty late last night, so I wasn't getting that done. Bailey Ober, the strike-throwing ogre. 9 innings, 2 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 89 pitches versus the Marlins, which makes a little sense. They put a lot of balls in play. You know, if you're gonna have a Maddox, this would be a target team. Let's see what his breakdown was. 37 changeups, 34 fastballs, averaging 88.6 miles an hour. So in the Manoah speed range right now, dominating. 9 sweepers, 5 sliders, 4 curveballs. You know, Bailey's velo has been dropping, but he's so big that I feel like the fastball still plays slow. You know, he's got a little bit of that Chris Young vibe going on with him. Just a giant man, makes it work, throws a lot of strikes, gets a lot of vert on the fastball. So let's just watch it. You know, I don't know what to expect. I feel like it's just going to be a lot of weak pop-ups. Marlins and Minnesota Twinkies. Bailey Ober with the Maddox. We'll watch all the pitches because it's a Maddox. Xavier Edwards is our first batter today. We'll also take a closer look at Ober because he's so freaking big.
First-round pick by San Diego.
And typically guys this big, I've talked about it with, you know, Schlittler. Guys this big don't throw strikes consistently. So it's fascinating when you find somebody that does. There's that changeup. Now, I think a big part of it, Edwards hated that. I think a big part of it is just that his delivery is so simple, and he's not trying to throw hard. You know, take a look at the Bailey Ober delivery. Leg lift, very simple, easy hand separation. Actually opens up and just gets his arm right in the zone and flicks it in there. And just flicks it in there. It's almost like he's just like playing beer pong or throwing darts. Like the hand gets out in front and he just flicks it in there. All right, so that's the first out. Ober was not the Uber driver. That you're thinking of other big sinker ball guy. Oh, what was his name? That was a funny back and forth with him and Cameron Maben, I want to say, when they played us in the postseason with the Twins. God, who am I thinking of? His name was gosh, I think he signed a long-term deal for like $15 million or something. God, and then he was like almost never heard from again. Somebody will find it in the chat. The Uber driver. All right, gets another rollover on a changeup there from the big fella. All right, here is Otto Lopez. Yeah, Randy Dobnak. There it is. Thank you, Michael. That's the Uber driver, Randy Dobnak. I'm not sure how sustainably an 88 heater can ever play. That's pretty concerning velo, considering he used to sit mid-90s. Yeah, I'll take a look at his profile after this. It is really slow. There's a reason why he hasn't been dominant, and this is part of it, because he does such a good job of throwing strikes. But to be honest with you, like this is like the type of stuff I was featuring in the WBC, and I thought I was cooked. So I don't think it can work very good. I mean, that's just a lollipop that happened to work out. All right, second inning. He actually threw a lot of pitches in that first inning for having faced only 3 batters. Oh, Yuri was throwing sinkers. We're going to get into that, interestingly, as well, because Imai started throwing sinkers last night. We'll watch that, too.
in front of the mound, and who wants it? And a
Infield pop up there. See, the fastball still has vert, though, and extension. So even though it's 90 right here, I guarantee that's perceived at like 93 to the batter. So there's more at work than just pure velo, but you're going to see a lot of weird swings like that one from Norby on the changeup. Little half check swing. And he rolls it out. And then a first pitch hit by Jacob Marcy, who's now using a torpedo bat, which I thought was pretty cool. But he gets on with a little bunt single. Nicely done there by Jake. Need to consider his perceived velo. Yes, Wilhelm. That's what I was just mentioning. You're totally right. He's got perceived velo. He's so big. It's a weird angle because he's so big. But also he has the extension too. As a longtime Kyle Hendricks fan, I'm a fan of 88. And then another one-pitch contact, and this one's going to be an out. This is a sweeper. It's just a bad pitch. I bet you the stuff plus on this sweeper is like 65. 76 miles an hour with hardly any movement on it, yet it works. It's a one-pitch out, and he's through 2 innings. Yeah, leave it to Christopher Morel to take a gangster hack at that. So you're out, 3rd inning. Oh, here is Mr. Joe Mack. We've been waiting to see Joe Mack hit. So change up right here. +2 for extension, +2 for IVB. Plays like 93. That's what I would say. In terms of perceived velo, it's only going to count the extension on that. It's not going to count the IVB. But I know as a hitter, if you have above average level of IVB, you also have to account for that in your calculation with your speed to get to the top of the zone. So that's why I would give it like a 93, even though it's probably 91, 92 on the actual perceived velo number, but that's the way I look at it. All right, here's a 1-2 sweeper to Joe Mack, and then a swinging strike on a changeup with torpedo bats, with the plan not just to be pitch away and make them hit it off the end of the bat. I mean, it's a decent idea, but
7 pitch coming up from Ober.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you're going to change your approach too much for a torpedo bat. Although I do think, yeah, maybe getting them to chase above the zone away from them. There's a little less wood there, and you can get above or below the zone or get it off the end, and it's weaker out there maybe. Decent thought. Good strikeout on a changeup there from Mack. Bends the knee. And now it's Hernandez. Sweeper, strike 1. Man, that's a slow pitch. 4-seam at the top, swing and miss. And sweeper. So 3 pitches, 3 swing and misses here out of Hernandez. Got absolutely dominated right there. All right, back to the top of the order, and the X-Man. Slider down ball. Here comes a changeup. Ooh, challenge that, Xavier. Yeah, this is how I kind of feel, like what Dano's saying. It's just like it'd be too much to try to calculate that in addition to everything else. Ayo will make a video that Andre Satoria can play in MLB after sealing Bailey Ober. I thought I would like to see him try with how good he looked in the WBC. Here's a backdoor slider. This ball's absolutely dotted, by the way. Jeffers with a nice catch of this, too.
So there is that deception. There it is. Perfect.
Paint. I'd like to see him try. I mean, I know he's throwing 78 miles an hour, Sartoria from Czech. But, I mean, he was dicing up good players, man. On Japan, his changeup was like it just never gets to the plate. So, I mean, I'd like to see people try. But, you know, again, we're not out here to try. We're out here to win. So he's not likely to ever get a chance. Because, you know, there's no evidence to suggest it will work. All right, 0-1 changeup here to Otto Lopez. Pops him up on that. He does have a lot of arm side run, so add that in there a little bit. Excessive arm side run. Right here is Stowers. Change up down. I think you have to pitch Stowers down. I think Stowers is built to hit up. Goes and reaches for that change up, drops it into right. That's a good job. So there's a knock. Here is Norby. Change up down ball. He's thrown fewer fastballs this year, and the change is his most thrown now. Same in this game. Changeup was the primary pitch. It makes sense. You kind of have to do it. You have to throw your most effective pitch in there and slow people down to make your fastball play. If you try to pitch off his heater all game, it'd be tough. I know he throws a lot of heaters, but He can't be like 50% heater, I don't think. I think that would be you're just asking for it, even with all the extension, all the things we previously discussed. You need to mix it up. All right, 5th inning.
Annual bark at the park here at Target Field. A lovely night, no score.
I mean, Door's at 89. That's it. Is heater the right word for his fastball? All right, maybe not. Faster ball. It's a faster ball. He's up in the zone a lot. Yeah, and I think that plays to his advantage because of his extension. And, you know, people tend to mishit it up in the zone. I think he doesn't want to, he just doesn't want to live in the middle. Pretty good swing here by Marcy. 101.6, but a bit too high and doesn't quite get it out. A lot of up in the zone changeups also to your previous point. Popped up. All right, we are on to Christopher Morel. First pitch sweeper, fouled off. It's right down the middle. My God. I'd love to see a pitching facility try to get Sartoria there to see what they can get him to. How hard he can throw. He's so small, though. His frame is so little. Maybe into the 80s. Dirty changeup right there for the strikeout of Morel. I love right-on-right changeup to Morel, by the way. And then a one-pitch out here to end the 5th. Joe Mack comes up and rolls that over to first. So a beautiful first 5 innings. We're on to the 6th. Here's Hernandez. 3-pitch strikeout the first time. First pitch changeup. Second pitch changeup. Hi, Roberto Hernandez. Double H. That's a pretty good pass at it, but right at the left fielder. One out there. Here's back to the top. Xavier Edwards. Fastball away. Ball. And slider. Wonder how much luck and mishit balls on mistakes factor into this Maddox. He's not striking me as dominant in this game. No, he's absolutely not dominant in this game. And what's funny is people could use this game as a teachable moment, but I think it would be a mistake. You know, coaches would say, oh, look at this guy. Look how hard it is to hit. All you got to do is throw it over the plate. But he was very fortunate. From what I'm watching, he's been very fortunate. I'm seeing a lot of strike throwing, but outside of the changeup, I'm not seeing tremendous location. I mean, some fastballs he's located well, but it seems like the speed or lack thereof is what's messing them up. Those sweepers are just so slow that guys have been out in front of them. There's a fly out there. I mean, he's not going to give up a ton of hard contact when guys are mishitting them, but I'm going to go look at his profile because I think he's been getting hit hard in the other games, and I think he was pretty fortunate in this one. Like, this is a 2-0 challenge heater to Otto Lopez. You know, and he gets an easy out on that one, too. Just did a good job keeping it away and forcing him to drive it the other way. Also, remember, every mile an hour of velocity averages about 1 to 2 feet of hit distance off the bat. So, you know, if he's throwing 95, that might have got to the wall. I mean, if he's throwing 95 miles an hour, that might have got to the wall. Instead, it's 89, and it doesn't make it. So that's the first out of the 7th. All right, Stowers again. Fastball up, ball.
From the start, how efficient he's been with his strike throwing.
Yeah, it's
a lot of the Marlins hitters just not getting up for this game. I don't know. I think it's just a frustrating offer. I think that you're trying to make good swings, but this is now completely an outlier in terms of stuff that you're used to seeing. And, you know, just definitely a lot of unfortunate luck as they just missed some balls. Like, Stowers hits this ball hard. 101, but 52 degrees not getting you anywhere. All right, here's Connor Norby. The highest velo 4-seam was 93. I'm 5'7", and it required me to put every single thing I had into it. Yeah. He's just so tiny. I think Sartoria weighs like a $130. $130. Like, you need to have some weight. You know what I'm saying? So there's a pop-up, and we're on to the 8th inning. I will put some dollars fading Bailey Ober, same as Robleski, easy money. Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. Preston Morrison, 1.85 is a high workload starter over 4 years at TCU, elite command, topped out at 85, got nuked at any level above A-ball. We've seen a lot of players like that over the years. Because eventually it does matter. Eventually you do have to put a little bit of pressure on the batter with some speed, you know, to make some tough swing decisions. All right, Morel now takes the heater right down the middle as he was too aggressive in the first 2 at-bats and got himself in trouble. But now he's 0-2 in a blink of an eye, and he's going to punch out. Right-on-right changeup he's never been able to see and Ober destroys him twice with that pitch. That's good pitching right there. That was a really good changeup, right? This is a great pitch. We haven't seen a ton of what I would consider nasty, but this is really good execution, and it's nasty. 19 inches to the right, so that's the second out of the 8th. Here's the third out of the 8th. Joe Mack again. Four-seam up ball. I do think his changeup's a plus pitch, even given its velo. He seems to hide it well. He locates it well. It's got a ton of arm side. So I don't think it would rate very highly, but I like it. I think it's a very effective pitch, and there's a reason why. I mean, you see the swings. But it's also key because it's making his other pitches better, you know? All right, here's a strikeout on a changeup. Even up in the zone, Joe Mack, see you later. So he's through 8, and we're on to the 9th, looking for that Maddox at 81 pitches entering the 9th. And what do you know? He gets a first pitch out on that slow sweeper. Popped up there. Here's the 4th time through. Xavier Edwards, who's had a frustrating day at the plate. Change up for a strike. Because I wasn't able to get the velo in the four-seam, I mainly use it as my punch-out option. It's kind of the same thing I did when I was down to 92-ish. I mean, just go with the really slow stuff early, let them put it in play if they want, get them to 2 strikes, and then use your extension and vertical approach angle and a little bit of velo difference there with the faster pitch to blow them away. 3-1 count, challenge heater, Xavier Edwards. I mean, it's just an incredibly frustrating game for the Marlins. That's a crushable pitch. Comes in underneath that and pops it up for the second out of the 9th, and here's the final batter as he completes the complete game shutout, Maddox. I'm kind of glad I didn't make a video on it because I'm not that excited about it, even though it's dominating in terms of results. Four-seam up away, Hicks pulls it over, and that's a complete game shutout in not a lot of pitches. I think it was 87 pitches. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous game. No, 89 pitches. All right, so here's Bailey Ober on the season. Fastball velocity, 1st percentile. Whiff rate, 24th percentile. K rate, 28th percentile. So he's relying on that exit velo, which he has, 86.4 on average. So he's constantly getting them to mishit the ball. Hard hit percentage, also, they're not doing a lot of that. The thing that's weird is the ground ball rate's so low. You would think you would need to rely on a lot of balls on the ground. But no, it's a lot of weak fly balls with that weird fastball at the top that seems to play. The extension's a big deal, the 95th percentile extension. Let's go look at how his velocity has trended over the years, because I feel like it's gone way down over the years. Let's see. Just going to look at his four-seam fastball. So 2021, he was averaging 92.3. Then 2022, he drops to 91.5, 91.3 in 23, comes up a tiny bit to 91.7 in 24, and then the last 2 years, he's dropped way low. 90.3 last year, and this year he's sitting at 88.6. So yeah, I mean, look, it's inevitable at some point this will catch up on him. But changeup's been super effective this season. They're hitting 176, 167 on the changeup, but you know, it's not like the fastball's been ineffective either. 240 on the fastball. There's no whiff there, so he's relying a lot on the BABIP gods, but you know, BABIP's going to be in your favor if it's weak fly balls. So at the moment, semi-sustainable, but long term, I mean, at some point he's going to be getting hit pretty hard, I would imagine, this season. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. Has he changed anything with his other pitches? Like, what are we looking at from year to year? Changeup, four-seam slider, top 3 pitches this year. Last year, four-seam changeup slider. So he flipped the changeup usage because the velo continues to drop. Makes sense. 2024. Hi. Hi. You're leaving? All right, love you. Yeah, so he's moving away from the four-seam wisely. I mean, at one point, 58% four-seam is crazy. But he doesn't have a history of being a major StatCast darling outside of 24, which is his best year. So I'm calling a little bit of bullshit on it, but it's also been proven that his stuff sort of plays, better than the numbers. 5.10 ERA last year. I don't expect him to get to that point, but I think he'll be in the high 4s when it's all said and done this year. So I would expect some regression, even with these numbers being good with the lack of hard contact. I'm guessing that'll flip around if he can't get the velo back up. Me personally. Yeah, fastball's xWOBA is lower. I mean, like there's some encouraging stuff because he's getting a lot of fly balls, and fly balls are easy outs when they're not hit hard, but I still think that this is gonna get him at some point. I really do. I think a fly ball guy like Ober will have more start-to-start variance. Yesterday was the good side. Yeah, I mean, the chart's pretty decent. I agree. Still, though, I'm skeptical. I just am. Do the dudes that throw games like these ever go back to the locker room and see the stats and think, wow, that was lucky? No, of course not. They don't think they're lucky at all. They think they think that, like, you have to buy into why you think you're good. You know what I mean? Let's see what Eno's saying in his model, just out of curiosity, on Bailey's Stuff Plus. So it has him as a 93 Stuff Plus this year. Really likes to change up, which I was surprised to see a little bit, but makes sense. It's his nastiest pitch in my mind. I said it was a plus pitch. Likes his slider a lot, which I thought it was going to have a bad view of the slider, but hates both fastballs. Curveball says it's okay. Interestingly, he's not getting a huge score for location plus right now because that's one of the things I would say he's consistently good at. So they have him pegged for major regression from the Stuff model, 86 points. Now, what's Pitching Bot say? Pitching Bot says the same thing. Bot ERA is a 5.07 on this model. Gives him below average grades on both fastballs, slider, and curveball. Only gives the changeup an above average grade. So it's kind of what I think too. What about the Barnyard? What is Robert Stock's model saying about Bailey Ober? Do I have to reload your whole program, Rob? Probably. What the heck's going on here? What is going on? Find a picture. Ober. Searching. Why are you still searching? This shouldn't be that hard. No pictures found. Maybe I just need to reload this whole page. Something weird's going on here. I don't know what's going on. His site's not working very well, so we're going to move on. That's annoying. 6'9", 260 is a big part of it. 6'9". There aren't any other guys 6'9", you know? Ayo, is there a pitcher who you'd use an example of flawless mechanics? No. I mean, I guess DeGrom, but... Or DeGrom and Wheeler, to me, are so aesthetically pleasing, but there's no... I don't believe in flawless mechanics, really. Kind of out on that. I like some deception in there. So to me, it's like, if you're too perfect, I don't know how that helps you. And I've seen a lot of guys who are quote unquote perfect that don't stay healthy, you know? His fastball is such a negative outlier now that it's positive. Why doesn't he just learn to throw harder? Well, maybe at some point he'll try. I would think at some point he should do that. Numbers can't really measure deception. Not yet. They're trying to do some things, but, you know. Would him getting some girth on his lower half help on his body, help his velo? I mean, you would think, man. You would think. But I don't know. I mean, it's amazing how much... His changeup has lift on it. So it's amazing how many fly balls he gets. Weak fly balls, which is really good for batting average on balls in play, to be fair. Yeah, we're going to look at Imai in a little bit. He's throwing a sinker now. He just started throwing sinkers yesterday out of nowhere. Like, yeah, like Chris Sale is amazing, but like everybody's going to have... Some people have a problem with that delivery, whereas I don't. You know what I mean? We know lots of single components which are good, but it's tough to know how they work together. Yeah. Interesting in the weather questions, because I don't know if McGreevy is worth a breakdown or if he's just getting good results with the early seeing weather. He's also another one who throws pretty slow. But the weather's changing now. It's getting heated up all over the place. So the ball's going to start flying a lot of different places, to be honest with you. A lot of different places. All right, let's go take a look at Tatsuya Imai's game yesterday, because he came back off the IL. He has had just a disastrous beginning to his American League career. I mean, his American baseball career for the Astros. A guy that I was high on coming over. I love the way that he moves functionally. I was high on the reverse slider because of the results. I thought the fastball would play because of the low angle and the effortless velo. I thought he'd be up like 97, 99 most of the time. And then he also had a split. So I was... Also, he's improved his command every year in Japan, and he seemed to be on a very much an uphill trajectory. But so far, he's been hit with a lot of roadblocks here in America, struggling with the transition culturally and struggling to get results on the field. I think he has one good start out of like 5. Anyway, yesterday he goes 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs. Now, notably, his fastball completely changed yesterday, and he went to sinkers. He had been throwing 4-seamers before. I had read that the goal for him coming back was to throw strikes. And I guess maybe this was the idea. He didn't like the way his fastball looked. He did have a good zone rate on his sinker yesterday, 54% for what that's worth. But very weird. 2 pitches, sinker slider. Yesterday, the sinker is 5-18, which I don't hate. I actually kind of like it given his arm angle. So that's a plus. And then the slider is 2 and positive 6. So it's very strange. Very strange. Very strange. Let's go take a look at Imai. Houston and the Mariners. All right, so we'll go through it here until he gets into a little bit of trouble. Here's the slider to Donovan. The backup slider, ground ball to Altuve for the first out. Second batter, he's going to get a called strike 3 and a sinker. Here's the first look at that sinker. Little backdoor sinker, 17.1 vert at 94 miles an hour.
Does to other teams, and maybe it'll be something that he can progress. But he's
so a freeze right there, and he actually has a 1-2-3 first inning. As here's a sinker to
off the glove of Imai,
Naylor.
Throws sidearm and gets the
very athletic sidearm chuck over there. 20.4 inches is not nothing. I know you can't see it well from this camera angle, but that's not nothing. So I don't hate his sinker. I wish he would throw both, sinker and 4-seamer. That would be making him a little more interesting at the moment. There's a ground out. All right, second inning. Here's the first walk of the day. It's Cal Raleigh. Walks have been a killer over here too, and that's something that he had improved. That's something that he had improved along the way in Japan. That hasn't been the case so far. All right, in-play runs. Randy clips him on the backup slider. 3.2, 3.7. Very weird pitch. Takes him out and then plays rock, paper, scissors with the first base umpire. My goodness, what have we come to in baseball? All right, here's the whole at bat. Sinker, backdoor strike. Slider off of that. This one actually has a little bit, well, not as much arm side. Here's a sinker again. Beats him up in with that. Another sinker. Another. This one's a slider. Easy take, and then this slider completely backs up right down the middle.
And he hammers this one deep.
Kaboom. I just don't know what to make of the slider yet. I think as a chase pitch, it could be good, but I don't know. Kind of a weird scenario. So there's the home run by Arozarena. Next batter, it's another hit on the reverse slider to Luke Raley.
Hits this ball to right. That'll be on a hop.
Just looks like a knuckleball in a way. Like very unpredictable pitch. All right, sinker here. He's going to get an out from Crawford. That ball's well struck though. I don't know how you can pitch quite like this. 2 pitches. You invented a new pitch midway through this year. You don't have great command going right now. Each of the individual pitches aren't necessarily an outlier in any way. He's just got a long way to go. He's just starting to pick up the pieces, I guess. All right, here's an out on a sinker to Cole Young. That one worked out. That was a good chopper. That's the result he wanted. All right, third inning. Leadoff hit from Donovan.
Brendan Donovan sends one to
He'll
center
knock up the
on
middle.
line, and
Also, they're going to put a lot of lefties in the lineup. It's going to be a tough go throwing those right on left sinkers.
A-Rod sends one towards the middle.
Do they get a double play here?
Steps on the bag, fires.
Very nice double play by the shortstop. So Julio looked bad the first 2 at-bats. Here's a hit by Naylor. 1-2 slider.
That hit hard.
Doesn't get it below the zone. He's able to stay on that for a hit. And then he strikes out Cal
Got him.
on a pretty bad chase below the zone. So decent through 3. 2-run home run, couple walks. 4th inning, it gets ugly, I believe. 1-2 count, and then he hits Randy with a backup slider on the 1-2 count. So that stinks. It's crazy, though, because that pitch is damn close to being a strike. But that's what happens when you live away in at-bat, and then you pop one up and in. The backup slider seems exactly what Traject was made for. Yeah, it's just like, it's such a weird pitch. I don't understand it yet. Then another hit by pitch off the foot. So back-to-back hit by pitches there. And then a 3-0 walk, 4-pitch walk to Crawford. So just disastrous fundamentals to start this inning. A hit by pitch with 2 strikes, another hit by pitch, and then a walk. So bases loaded, no outs. And that's going to bring up Dom Canzone, who first pitch, grand slam.
First pitch hammered to right field.
My Italian friend gets a backup slider right down the middle and knows what to do with it. So Imai got himself in trouble, man. 3 free passes and then the hit. I don't think he's going to be unhittable with the current pitch package, but you can't exacerbate it by letting guys get on base for free. You know, it's just an absolute meatball.
First pitch hammered to right field. Dominic Canzone has just hit a grand slam. Leadoff hitter.
Let's see how he regroups the rest of this outing. That's almost a home run to center. 104.4. Here's another walk. Julio got out 0 for 3 though, including it looks like maybe 2 double plays. No, just 1. Here's Naylor. Velocity's come up a little bit in the last inning or so. A couple anger balls, maybe? Although it's not the velo that I thought we would see. So that's it. He goes 4 innings, 80 pitches, 3 strikeouts. Just a disastrous outing. Didn't even throw 50% first pitch strikes. That's mainly what killed him. Like, it's hard enough when you're pitching 2 pitches and they're not elite, but it's really hard when you're hitting 3 batters, walking another 3, and then making a lot of mistakes with 2 strikes. So, man, it's been rough on the early going here. This is what the sinker shape looks like relative to the 4-seam shape. The 4-seam was at 11 vert, 13 run. The sinker's at 5 and 18. So at least the sinker has some real movement to it. So I get why they did it, but I think he should throw both, personally. And then they have to figure out something that goes left. I mean, this is an interesting pitch. It's cool that he has it. Nobody else has it, but something's got to get on the other side of the chart. Otherwise, I mean, it's just you're going to run into the barrel too often when your pitches are clustered this much. So, I don't know. We'll keep watching him. We got high hopes. I'm not going to write him off completely because he's so talented in terms of the way his body moves. I think he's a freak athlete, and he's had success before, but the early going has been awful, awful, awful. You know, on the bright side, he's still getting a lot of whiff and some ground ball. That's all good. But every other metric's kind of gone against him. You know, and really the command has been awful. 21% walk, not to mention the hit batters. What's his first pitch strikes? 50%. It's just not high enough. And yeah, it's early, but man, like talk about a rude welcoming to Major League Baseball. He's certainly living through that right now. All right, a 2-pitch starter in 2026. Yeah, him and Chase Burns, basically. I know Chase Burns throws a couple changeups, but crazy. Weird to thinking that pairing a sinker with a backward slider would be an improvement in any way. They'll both have drop and arm side run. Exactly, they're all too clustered, but I just think the 4-seam was kind of dead zone. And so it's like, if you can't command it, you might as well have the pitch with more total movement. Try to keep him on the ground. But he doesn't have a lot of good options right here, to be honest with you. Hoping Houston is out of it and they trade Imai to Toronto. No, well, nobody's trading for Imai at the moment. I'll tell you that. He's getting paid decent money. So, it doesn't look good. I mean, I have to say, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like the one I saw in Japan, which he threw with so much more intent. You got to think the ball's an adjustment too, you know? Dude might need to pick up a cutter or something, just something different from that down and arm side movement profile. Totally agree. Imai at Coors Field might be worse than Herman Marquez was. Well, Herman Marquez was a beast back in the day, but the last couple of years, yeah. Do you think he's a one ticket and back to Japan guy? I think it's unfair to completely write him off yet. He's going through a lot right now, and we've seen guys come out the other side of stuff like this, but we need to see it this season because he might not want to be back here next year, to be honest with you. He might want to go back to having a little success, and he's in a rough spot right now. All right, I'm going to take a quick break to go to the bathroom for one moment, and then I'm going to jump back in, and we'll go ahead and look at some more stuff because I have some time today. All right, so bear with me for one moment. All right, we are back. So a couple options here. I have three prospects I want to look at for the draft. I have those guys written down. They're all hitters. We'll do that, but we still have a couple more major league things to cover. I want to see how the Giants rallied against Yamamoto last night, and then we also have Gore. Mackenzie Gore had a really nice outing as well last night. I think that should be on the list as well. So let me answer a couple more questions here in the chat, and then we'll keep going. Do you enjoy this stream? Then you should like and subscribe. All right, we got a question here. Silly question regarding Coors Field. I have to imagine sports science is advanced enough that we can simulate precisely the difference in pitch movement at higher altitudes versus sea level. Yeah, it's about 80% of your movement. You get about 80% of your movement. But you also have to understand, like, seam shifting things is also a little bit of a more tricky enterprise as well because there's less air resistance. So there's... At times, it can feel like less than 80% of your movement, but 80% of your movement, yeah. Yeah, please like. Do me some favor. Like, leave some comments. Obviously, you guys are subscribed because you're in the chat, but those of you who aren't in the chat, subscribe. Por favor. Por favor. Por favor. All right. Oh, yeah, Mclanahan's another option too, Spectre. Good point. I want to see what happened in this game. I was watching. It looked like Yamamoto was going to cruise. Looks like he gets clipped for a few homers kind of late in this game. Looks like Bader hit one. So I'm just kind of curious, just 2-second look at what happened in this game. So I was watching it. Shohei got off to a good start. And then Yamamoto looked good to me, but he ends up getting clipped for 3 homers here. So let's see what happened. This was the first one, Eric Haas.
An extra motivated version of Yamamoto tonight.
Eric Haas, former Tiger, big-time pull the ball in the air type of guy. 1-1, back-to-back fastballs, and then he's going to get him on a cutter. Probably backs up a little bit. Yeah, just stays in the middle. Haas, I told you, likes to pull the ball in the air. Shoots one out to left at 102-1. So that's the first homer he allows. And then here's the back-to-backs. Bader, who's been out for a while but is finally back. Let's see what he gets him on. I imagine it's also some sort of spin in the zone, but let's see. Sinker in, splitter in. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Spec. All right, slider, swing and miss. So we got him to 1-2. Fouls off the heater at the top, and then he's going to get him on a splitter. Wow. Oh, yeah, just a big mistake. Splitter up and in. Good job by Bader to punish that mistake. 99 right down the line. And then the next home run's a first pitch to Eric Haas. Another ball that drifted middle in, gets the ball pull side in the air. Second home run off Yamamoto. Imagine that. Eric Haas, of all people, 2 home runs off Yoshi in this game. That's a hell of a ball game for him.
Wow, incredible.
102-4. So Yoshi victimized by 3 solo shots. That ends up being kind of the story for him in this game. Ultimately, does give up 2 other runs, but the 3 solo shots are rare. Dodgers can't get a break right now. As for Shohei, Shohei did have a nice start to his game. Single, homer, walk. So let's watch those 3 at-bats. Here's the first one versus Adrian Hauser.
0 for 5 yesterday.
As a lot of people have been worried about Shohei's offensive production. But I believe he got up to about 800 OPS after this game, and I'm sure he'll be fine. But he has been a little slow starting offensively. I know he's on the bump today, too. All right, change up here. Using that reach-out, rollover approach that he has sometimes. Gets it through the hole. 93-7, and then here comes the home run. Ice Cube in the booth.
I mean, it started with...
Surprised Hauser's going sinker change-ups to him. There's a curveball. Huge hack, no miss. I mean, no hit, and then curveball again. That's down, and then he's going to homer on that sinker going the opposite way. I thought this was a good sign for Shohei. Off the plate away. He's always had crazy plate coverage. He powers it to that gap at 106, opposite field, 23 miles an hour. Great swing. Not many people can cover that off the plate away and drive it with authority. So we'll see if he gets hot at the plate now. Starting to feel it a little bit. Dodgers need it. What did Mookie go in this game? 0 for? 0 for 4. So he's getting his feet under him. It's just crazy on paper that this team's losing right now, though. Shohei, Mookie, Freddie, Tuck, Smith, Muncy, Pages, Teoscar, Kim is crazy. That's wild. It's really ridiculously good. Like, very, very good. Very, very good. Very, very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, very good. All right. What was I just going to check? Check something in the Discord. See what's new here. We already saw that before. This is a funny chart right here that Spectre threw up there. These are people over 400 on base this year. Bazana, and then all these guys that are used to being in that range are out. So that's kind of funny. It's going to be tough for the Dodgers. I mean, not that they're not going to be there in the end. They probably will. But in my honest opinion, like it's just so hard to win 3 in a row. You know, really hard. And everybody's coming for you. You know, everybody's coming for you. Dodgers had bases loaded less than 2 outs 2 different times in this game and only scored 1 run. They are 5 for 27 with the bases loaded this season. Yep. Honestly, this team's age is showing. The fatigue is heavy. It's also just like they're getting to the 2nd month of the season. It's not as fresh here. Let's see how it goes. Or the Dodgers just getting old. They have some young guys too. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what's up with the Dodgers. Not sure. Yeah, Dodgers bases loaded. No bueno this year. That's been hurting them a lot. They're going to be fine, though. It's too early to sound the alarms versus the Dodgers. I know Spec is a little bit, but I think it's too early. All right, there was 2 other really nice pitching performances to look at. So let's go look at them in consecutive fashion. Then we'll go look at the prospects, and I'll get out of here because I have a phone call at 12:45. So the first one is Mackenzie Gore. I've been neglecting him quite a bit, but he pitched pretty well yesterday, and then we'll watch Shane Mclanahan on the back of that. So Texas, Arizona, Mackenzie Gore. Trying to make the leap, trying to turn the corner. Such a big prospect all those years. He goes 8 innings, 3 hits last night, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. This is a major departure, a little bit in style from him. He's usually lives and dies by the strikeout. So that's interesting to see that he had a great game where he didn't live and die by the strikeout. Mackenzie, 49 heaters, 22 curves, 12 cutters, 8 changeups, 3 sliders, 1 sinker. So still heavy 4-seam usage. A little bit sketchy, 0 whiffs on the fastball. 0 for 26 on the fastball. That's a little sketchy. 16% whiff overall. I mentioned you still want to strike everybody out. but you know that you can't all the time, so you want to be able to get weak contact. But you can't like completely abandon whiff altogether either. So this is a little bit weird. Maybe he got some good luck. We'll find out. Mackenzie Gore versus the Diamondbacks. All right, we'll speed through Gore here. All right, first batter is Ketel Marte. See, this is one thing for sure. I mean, he does play in a ballpark that you can pitch to contact in, so that helps. But again, he did have a great game. We want him to go a little more in this direction, not live and die by the strikeout, but we also need him to get a good amount of whiff when he needs it. Like, he needs to bury guys with 2 strikes as well. Man, Corbin Carroll just misses one, flies out to right, and he's going to get his first strikeout of the game on a nice changeup here to Perdomo. Gets him the chase off the plate away. So a 3 up, 3 down first. Second inning, strikeout on a cutter to Nolan.
It was really a turning point. And sure enough, he's still hanging around.
Down in, swing over the top. Nice pitch. Now here's a homer from Ildemaro Vargas, who's been awesome this year. 103.9 at 23. Solo shots don't beat you. You can live with that. 1-1 cutter, had to get in the zone. Great swing, more of a great swing than anything. Yeah, it's a bad pitch, but again, you got to be in the zone there. I don't care. It's fine. Solo shots don't beat you as a starter. All right, here's a walk to Gurriel, so a little bit of trouble here in the second inning. Maybe he gets a double play to erase him. Let's see, Moreno. Oh, pop up below the zone. That's a can of corn all day long. Roof was open last night, too. Ball carried more for sure, especially down the right field line. Do I think Ketel Marte is washed? No, definitely not. What's this question, JDS? Weathers or Warren? Warren right now is the better pitcher. I don't think it's really that close to me. Weathers is very good, though. Weathers is my favorite Yankee move of the offseason, so I'm high on him. But he might end up going to the bullpen when everybody's back, and then maybe the lefty stuff will really play off. I still have high hopes for Weathers, but it's undeniable how good Warren's been. Warren's been very good. All right, there's a fly out. A lot of weak flyouts so far. Here's Ketel. Again, don't think he's washed. Just think he's not playing well at the moment. Too talented. Just misses that one. Gets another fly out. Here is Corbin Carroll, and he's going to get another fly out. Little pop-up here. So a lot of weak pop-ups and a couple hard ones that they just hit too high. Here in the early going, we got to take this field out of here. I can't see the score bug at all. All right, fourth inning. Perdomo. Look at that ball carry right out to Evan. So another fly out. Here's Arenado. A fortunate line out. And here's Vargas. Another fly out. Looks like the four-seam was playing pretty well up in the zone. Yeah, those are Ketel's at-bats right now, just hitting line drives at people. Yeah. He didn't have a ground ball until the 6th. You know, it's just like different styles, but I mean, we've seen a lot of fly ball pitchers, you know, win big awards because there's just such low batting average on fly balls. Of course, there's more damage, but if you can keep them in the yard and they hit fly balls, you're usually in a good spot. Like this one, it's a good swing, but it's not enough to get it done. Fly out, Evan Carter on that. That's the first out of the 5th. Here's the second one.
Single-digit number of pitches.
Line drive right to the shortstop. So getting a little fortunate as well in this game. Couple line outs. And then another easy out here from Fernandez. That one he beat him. Jammed him in pretty good. Pops it out to Duran. So through 5, 6th inning.
When was the last time they scored 7 runs here at home? This one.
Another fly ball. Fastball definitely played in this game. Pops it out to Nimmo. One out there. Here's a 2-0 fastball challenge heater to Ketel Marte.
2-0.
I think he hit that ball hard. No, we didn't. Only 87.7, so that was a little bit weird. Pounds it right in the ground. There's the first grounder of the game. Here's a hit. Corbin Carroll. Holding the velocity well. That's 96.7. Oh, just a well-placed grounder for a hit from Corbin Carroll. And then he's going to get Perdomo out. Fastball right down the middle. Ground ball. They'll take the easy way to second. He's through 6 innings, 7th inning.
18 batters in a ball game.
Nolan. Fastball up. Any fastball up, they have not been able to do anything but hit it straight in the air. Straight up in the air. So easy play there. Again, same thing with Vargas. It's at the top of the zone. It's beating him. Lazy fly out there. Here's a strikeout. Hasn't had one of these in a while. It comes on a changeup, and he finishes the 7th inning very nicely. So, man, just a lot of quick, easy fly ball outs allowed him to go deep in this game. Here's the 8th. Strikeout to Moreno. Not sure how he got a chase on that. That was way in front of the plate, but he gets it. There's the punchy. Fernandez here. Fastball again. Gets him to swing off the plate in. Step and throw, nice play. So 2 outs in the 8th. Here's a hit from Waldschmidt, the rookie. That's a good swing. Burns Ozuna out there. Looks like Nimmo came out of this game. I think Nimmo might have been hurt. So man on second. 2 outs in the 8th. This is his final batter. We'll watch both pitches. It's Ketel Marte. First pitch, cutter. Swing over the top. Not looking great on low pitches right now. 4-seam up in, completely blown up and beat. Seager makes that play. So what do I think of Mackenzie Gore's outing? You know, look, I think he did a good job throwing a lot of strikes, especially after the 2nd inning. The fastball clearly played up in the zone very well. Also got quite fortunate with some of the contacts. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But I don't know. I mean, he definitely needs to get some more early contact, and fly ball weak contact is always a good place to be, and not try to rely so much on the strikeout. That way he can get a little deeper in. But he's got to kind of flip the script from what he's done the last few years, where he's been so good early and then, you know, kind of weak later in the year. This year he's been early, and he's got to try to step it up and continue to gain momentum as he moves on this year. So maybe this was a good starting point for him. Another part of the reason why that fastball's playing is look at that extension, 6'8", 86th percentile. So that's very good. But, you know, it's just a very vanilla profile otherwise. But I still think the arm talent's in there, and now the pitchability is in there, that he could be like a 3.5 ERA guy in 30 starts consistently over the next several years if he can figure out his formulas really well. And, you know, at least today, got a lot of good results on fastball up for sure for contact. So that was pretty cool to see. And they need it. Boy, do they need it, the Rangers. They need their starters to carry them a lot. Valdi, Jake. I think Valdi's hurt now, but Jake and Mackenzie Gore for sure. And then Jack Leiter is trying to make the leap as well. All right, so that was Mackenzie Gore. Now we're going to go check in on Shane Mclanahan, who's been steadily building this year. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, 80 pitches, 2.27 ERA. This was the absolute ace of the Rays a couple years back. Been out for a really long time, but I feel like the velocity is totally starting to trend. We already know he's got great feel for changeup, great feel for breaking ball for chase. He's got that jump at you type of delivery. So he's an interesting player, and the velocity's starting to climb. You know, he averaged almost 96 last night. It's a really good sign for him. 31 fastballs, 29 changeups. Those are the 2 pitches I like the most. 13 curveballs, 7 sliders. Actually threw almost no first pitch strikes, but was able to crawl back into the at-bats. Huge whiff on the changeup, which is one of my favorites in the game. I think it's a split, honestly, but they call it a changeup. All right, so this is going to be Rays versus Jays. Jays and Rays. Shane Mclanahan. All right, first up is George Springer. This is 98. Jays magic is missing. There was no quit in the team last year. I think it's easy to forget, though, that the Jays kind of stunk early last year. They spun their tires for a long time, and then they found it. You know what I mean? Then they really, really found it. So I'm not going to give up on the Jays yet. I know they don't have it going, but I think they're going to find it. 21 2/3 consecutive scoreless for Shane here. So let's immediately go check his delivery from the side, because he's got such a fantastic little leap thing going on here. Look at that jump move at the back foot. In an era where I'm even telling you on other people's YouTube content, don't jump off the mound, don't push off with your back foot. Shane Mclanahan's found an amazing way to do just that, and that's what gives him good extension, considering his arm angle and everything. Look at that. He travels so much. But I also think it's really important because it helps sell the changeup really well. And I also think because he's able to keeps his hips so level when he does it, it actually feeds his rotation really nicely, and he doesn't lose out much from doing this. But absolutely no one else in the league is doing this, and I find it interesting whenever anybody's an outlier. So I want to take a quick look at that Mclanahan as he starts his outing here in Toronto with a fly out. All right, next batter up is Miles Straw. You're not in a good spot when you're hitting Miles Straw in the 2-hole. Don't understand that lineup construction. Fly out to center. And change up, strike out to Vlad. Let's watch the whole at bat versus Vlad. I talked about how I love his changeup, and you're going to see why here. Fastball up and away. He's late, and then back-to-back changeups. Changeup, not even close to that, and then changeup, chase again. And I'll show you again the first base view of his pitching mechanics, even on changeup. He sells it so good because the mechanic stays the same. He's still leaping at you with max intent. Like, this is a changeup, even though it's a split for sure. You can see it. You can see his fingers split on the ball. There's one finger. There's the other. So he's split on the ball. Anyway, but I think this is a big part of its success too, is just how he sells it with the intent so well. So, you know, again, you can go ahead and have picture-perfect mechanics. You can do everything that people are telling you is the only way you can succeed. I got news for you. There's a lot of ways to succeed in this game, and Mclanahan's delivery is a cool example of that. All right, second inning. Okamoto. Hammered to left, but right out of fielder. One out there. Next up is Sosa in the 5-hole. Yeah, the Jays lineup's just not it right now. Straw in the 2-hole, Sosa in the 5-hole. You're desperate, and you're in a weird spot if that's your best lineup at the moment. Here's Ernie, gonna strike him out on a changeup. Up and away. So perfect through 2, riding this scoreless streak really far. Here's Varsho to lead off the 3rd. 0-2 slider, gets it away, little off the end, batted ball out to Taylor Walls. One out there, and then here comes a walk to Schneider. So first base runner there. That was after the review. And now we're at Mr. Valenzuela, who we looked at last week. Good swing there. That was a bad changeup. Hung up, but gets away with it. Only hits it out to the wall. Doesn't quite get as good as he could. 101, fly out to Mullins. 2 outs there. And then a strikeout here of Springer on a changeup. It's also Springer hasn't gotten going yet either. And, you know, you got to remember, like, and this was one of my concerns with them running back the same everything from last year was just like Springer was so elite last year compared to how he had been the previous few years that it made me wonder if he could duplicate that. And so far he's been not as good so far, and hopefully he can pick it up. So there's a strikeout on that changeup. That is Bugs Bunny. 4th inning, Miles Straw. 3-2 changeup, caught looking. So high changeup, not typically good, but it did work because he thought that was a fastball out of hand and it drops in the zone. All right, here's Vlad. 1-2 count, fastball. Definitely encouraging that Mclanahan's velo has just steadily moved up. It'll pop up there. And now he's going to punch out Okamoto on a curveball. Ooh, gets it to that down below spot. Very nice pitch there, and he's through 4. 5th inning and his last inning because they're not really letting him fly for 100 pitches at this point. Ooh, fastball almost in the dirt. Ground ball through the wickets of Caminero. So leadoff man on here, Mr. Sosa. Next up, Ernie Clement. He's also going to get a hit. Leave it to Ernie to hit a ball above his head for a hit. Kidding me with this swing? Nice swing, Ernie Clement. So 2 on, no outs. We'll watch all the pitches from here. Varsho, first batter up. Slider down, ball 1.
On the corners here, just in case.
Thought we might see him try though.
2-0 count, challenge heater to Varsho, and he hits it right in the ground. They get 1, and they get 2. Tremendous defensive play by the Rays. This is not easy. These plays are not easy at all. It's not like Varsho's that slow either. That's just major league execution. So you're in deep doo-doo there. 2 on, no out, 2-0 count to a good hitter, and, well, pretty good hitter. I know it's left on left, and you get a double play, and a tough double play at that. So tremendous defense by the Rays right there. And now a called strike 3. Oh, wait, there was a challenge. There was a challenge there, so he didn't get the double play. So it was 1st and 3rd. All right, I got it figured out. So here's Schneider. There's the steal. So now it's 2nd and 3rd. 1 out. He's going to battle with Schneider here for the strikeout. So this was a real opportunity for Toronto in this game. You got a lefty killer at the plate. 2 guys in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Breaking ball, change up. Here comes curveball. Chopped foul.
And 1-2 on Schneider.
4-seam up. That's a ball. Change up coming again. So reach and poke foul, and then he's going to punch him out with a slider. Looking. Yeah, I saw there was a comment in here that Schneid's is searching. To not swing at this pitch, that's to your point, Vinny. You got to swing at that pitch there. So he punches out. One more batter. It is Valenzuela. Curveball, ball 1. Change up, ball 2. So definitely pitching around some issues in this inning a little bit. Let's see how he gets through it here. Challenge heater to Valenzuela. Foul ball. Change up off of that. That's in there. They challenge it, but that's in there. So 1-2, 2-2 count. And he's going to punch him out with a fastball at 97 to finish his outing. Big time pitch. He maintains the scoreless streak. Works out of it. Now, a couple things I want to point out real quick. All right, so check this out. Varsho's trying to peek in the glove, right? I mean, that's your job. But look at how good of a job he's doing pinning that glove to his chest. And you can't see in there. You can't see anything in there. That's especially pertinent for a lefty because a lot of times the glove's a little open and they can really see it in there. So good job by him doing that. That's the first thing I wanted to point out. And then the second thing is just the awesomeness of the emotional release here. Fired up. Mclanahan, huge scoreless streak. And I don't think he's at his best yet. But he's got a change-up that's such an equalizer. And to me, that's kind of the thing. That little jump move that he does, I think adds a ton of deception to his game. And it's a weird feel for the batter. And I think that keeps him going, even if I don't think he's at his peak form right now. I mean, the results have been peak, but I still think there's more in there. I think there's more velocity in there. I think there's better command in there. Let's go back to 23 when he was unreal. I mean, he was averaging 96.8 at that point. So far this year, he's 95.2. Let's see what the velocities trend has been this season. So this is his fastball velocity this season so far, Shane Mclanahan. Came out gangbusters in that first game, very hyped up, 95.4. Then he dropped back to 94.3, 94.7, now 95.5, and then he's kind of settling in right around there. 95.3, 95.3, 95.6, and then this past game was his best one, 95.7. So good sign for him. Very good sign for Shane. I've always really enjoyed him. He's really good. I think the jump move adds a lot of deception, and I think it's really hard to see the changeup coming. 52.2% first pitch strikes. He's usually elite, over 60%. So I expect once that comes up, everything will get even better from him. Because other than that, I'm not seeing too much of a difference. Does look like the leap is a little bit less than before. Extension down just a bit, but it's still there. So I don't know. One of my favorites. Glad he got healthy. Glad he's starting to trend in the right direction. Glad he's getting good results. I mean, anytime you get 21.2 innings scoreless in a row, you're doing something right. Just to revert back to that delivery one more time, because I do find it very, very curious. I mean, man, just he leaps into rotation, which is the weird thing. Normally, when you push off the back leg, you have a hard time rotating your back hip with that initial move because there's so much push off away from the rubber. But he doesn't have that problem. If you watch, he pushes and rotates at the same time and sets himself up for success. So it's just a very subtle move that not a lot of people can do. And I think it makes him really good on the mound. As for, there was a question earlier in the chat about staying healthy with it. Whether that helps you stay healthy or not, I just have no idea. So, you know, kind of crazy. Yeah, Carl, this was Carl asking it earlier. Does the jump off lead to or contribute to injury? I don't know. I guess there's probably some biometric answers to that. Mini Carter Caps. The difference is Carter Caps used to jump and replant and then throw. He's like literally jumping and throwing all in one motion. So I don't think it's an illegal delivery. I know there's some people asking. It's definitely borderline. But I'm not as mad about this one as I was about the Carter Caps and the Jordan Walden. Those ones pissed me off a lot. That felt like cheating big time. Like to get a little, gain more ground to the plate and kind of regroup with your back foot planted and then also pitch normal. Like to me, that was weird. So I wasn't a big fan of that. He takes the turn to extreme heights. All right. So my plan today was to watch 3 prospects. We're now done with Major League action today. Right, so there's 3 prospects that have been popping up big time in the mock drafts. These are all guys that have a chance, have a chance to do big things in the draft. All have a chance to go in the top 10 is what I was getting at. So we'll take a quick glance at these 3 players. The first one, let me pull up my synergy. The first one is a player by the name of Chris Hacopian from Texas A&M. He is a second baseman. Wait, hold on. Home. Okay. Multi-game. Hitter. Chris Hacopian from Texas A&M University. He's listed as a second baseman. Synergy has him here as a double, as a DH. But he's a guy I'm curious about because I saw him going as high as 5th in this draft. So let's get a good look at his some knocks here. 16 extra base hits. You know what? Let's just do all hits. 39 hits. And let's just let that tape play and just see what we think about the swing. All right, there he is. Number 8, number Ocho. Little Oppo blast here against Ole Miss. Damn. First thing we see is an Oppo taco. Looks like this is a first pitch ambush. Ball's well struck. All right, so there's a homer. He's a great player. Some saying he can play shortstop. We'll watch him on defense as well. Breaking ball. Kind of fortunate with some bad defense there. Doesn't look particularly fast. Looks almost injured running to first right there. I hope that's not the case. All right, up here again. Oh, the ball smashed to left. Little breaking ball middle down. So now we've seen 2 home runs. 1 Oppo on a fastball, 1 pull side on a breaking ball. Same series.
Began at Maryland, and he bounces this through the left side.
Does he have crazy numbers or something? I mean, I know we've seen him getting some hits, but I'm not seeing an elite athlete here yet.
Down the right field line. It's a fair ball.
Pretty down through the ball swing. Slices it over to right here for an extra base knock. Got a lot of hits in this series. All right, here's Auburn. Oh, that's gone. Another breaking ball in the zone, destroyed to left. That ball was way back. Yeah, runs like he's injured on the report. So he's been hurt, blatant respect? Okay, good to know. Because he doesn't look like he's running well. He's limping to first base. I mean, even on this one, he just, like, limped to first. All right, here's versus the Gators. Very flat swing. Extremely flat swing. Kind of jammed, floats it into center there for a hit.
Carson Bowen. Ground ball. That one's off the leg of King, and that's going to get in for a base.
Very flat swing. Ground ball up the middle. Caden Sorrell is a monster for the Aggies.
High in the air, out to right center.
So far,
Yost
I'm
on
not
the
in love
run,
with what I'm seeing.
and
I mean, I
this
know
one
we're
is
watching him
off
get
the wall.
hits, but so far, just like from the swing, the athleticism, and the way he kind of bails, I'm not sold yet. But that's just, this is me video scouting for 3 minutes. So it's probably a bat to ball skill approach. That's kind of his thing.
He was coming here to play shortstop, ends up at second.
All right, here he is at the Alex box.
Swings, drives one
Like and
to left field.
subscribe.
Is it high
Definitely
enough?
showing ability to hit breaking balls in the middle.
LA, fellas, and tell
But I
them
mean,
we
that's the kind of a
are
prerequisite,
here.
right?
Know it.
Back stiffness issues. Okay.
1-0.
That's kind of what it looks like. Here's another ball. Fastball gets through that, rips it out to left.
Short hops, and it's picked up out there by Stanfield, and my goodness.
Oh, I see. Sorrell, 22 home runs, 1,000, almost 1,200 OPS. And of course, we know you like them lefties, Uncle Ted. Video scouting, very tough, but best you can do. Yeah, I mean, especially for this show, I just like to get some eyes on these guys that are well regarded, and you know, just get an idea of what we're looking at. You know, like we looked at Justin LeBron earlier, who struggled this season a little bit, you know, in terms of expectations, but you can see the athlete in there. So that's the opposite side of this. This is a guy who's playing great. Maybe he's got back stiffness issues, but I mean, geez, he runs like Albert Pujols. So, you know, at least you get eyes on him. Never seen this guy play in my life. Here's a chopper hit. That's kind of whatever. Would love to see a breakdown on Ace Reese. Yeah, we'll be seeing him at some point.
He's just been missing his pitch.
That was a lot better swing. To me, that was pretty impressive, this swing. This is a fastball in, and this one looked a little more athletic. Maybe he got healthy right around this point. Definitely whips the bat through there nicely. I don't even know where that went. That went over everything. Bubbles in the air. Another breaking ball down to left here. He's Sid Bream 2.0. Oh, man.
Line over a leaping second baseman Smith. Sorrell will stop at third.
Gets jammed, floats that in there.
Set. He's the lefty. Hacopian the righty. 3-0. Hit into right center field. Jared Curtis is over.
I mean, that's an easy play.
Drop the ball. Counter score.
I'm going to zoom forward and watch the last couple because I want to get to these other two guys too. And I'm watching way too many at-bats here. So I'm going to get all the way up here to you versus Georgia. A little more of a leg kick here towards more recent times.
Feels like you can't hit that. Keep that guy. Runs.
Chop, that's going to be a tough play. I don't think they have a play. Chris Hacopian left.
Hold on, let me go back to this swing. He changed his swing during this year. Now he's got a little bit more of a leg kick. I still don't love it, though. I don't know. I mean, he's getting to balls in, which makes me think it's more the flat swing, especially up in. He's got an ability to cover that. There's a little bit of bail with the front foot. But I don't know. I'm kind of curious to watch him play a little defense, to be honest with you.
1-2 pitch. He beats the shift. Bounces that one
So
out.
let's back up out of here. All right, back fielder. They have him as a DH because he hasn't played a ton of field this year, maybe? See what he looks like making a couple plays here. let's just watch a few. What did I just do? Oh, yeah, 56 clips. Okay.
Outs, getting that double.
Yeah.
Starting this thing. Now Jacob Kendall popped him up, first pitch swinging. The second baseman wants it, Hacopian.
So I went further back in the season. So he had a more of an athletic swing early in the season and less late. Kind of weird. Come on, give me a ground ball to this guy at least one time.
He's done it in this program.
Come on.
High pop up.
Pop out, line out. Here's a ground out.
Ashton Larson got the game-winning hit.
That's right. Yeah.
Caglione almost got tossed early.
Jake Diekman on the mound for Texas A&M.
Back up the middle. Speaking of Ashton Larson.
Okay.
He checked.
Here's a ground out.
First to Sear. Slow roller toward the second base.
This is Synergy. I have an account on this, so that's why I'm able to watch this. This has a lot of college baseball stuff in it, so that's why it's a little different. All right, we need some more ground outs.
He's a 200 hitter when they're loaded.
Come get it.
Chopper, tough one here. Only plays to first. Run will cross.
I wouldn't draft him in the top 5 off of this tiny little bit of video scouting. Me personally.
To the second baseman. Hacopian
It looks like he's like a very effective ball player, but I just don't see him being a plus athlete compared to other major leaguers. And I'm drafting for ceiling a lot of times if I'm drafting in the top 10. So I'm not seeing it yet. I could be wrong, but that's my initial read on Hacopian. I'm not as high on him as some others. All right, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop with him. We're done with him. All right, we're gonna reset. We're gonna reset. Next batter. Next person to look at. I have 2 more I wanted to look at if we have time. I do have a call in 15 minutes. The next one is Eric E.J. Booth. This is a high school player. Booth. Here he is, 2025. Now this guy I think is going to be quite an athlete. We only have perfect game stuff, so this is going to be pretty light. There's not going to be a whole lot here. Is there anything to see? I don't think he's got anything on here. That stinks. Well, maybe on 2025. Scorpion's black. All right. Just 5 outs. We're going to watch him get out 5 times. This is silly. Whatever. We'll do it for a second. There's no way that's him. This ain't him. What are we looking at here? This ain't him. This is not him. This is definitely not him. All right, let's start again. Reset. E.J. Booth. Here we go. 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 This is a different player. Apply. Ball and play result. Out. These are also all outs. I'm so confused. So confused. Yeah, here's Booth at the plate. He's going to get out both times.
Please get back to us. Booth drives a 2-1, second base.
Little lefty open stance.
That's going to
definitely
bring it
an
into
athlete.
the inning, but we're not going anywhere.
But I don't think we're going to get very many clips of this guy. I kind of like how he has his hands back, but then he drops them pretty quickly as he's about to come through the ball. That was the only 2 clips we had of him putting a ball in play. It's crazy. I mean, there might be more stuff here, though. Man, look at all these. Look how far back it goes. All right, so I guess we can't really watch him. All right, I have another one. His name is Sawyer Strosnider. He plays for TCU. We haven't watched him yet. So we tried. We tried to watch that man, E.J. Booth. but we haven't been able to figure that one out yet. So we're back to the college ranks. Sawyer, Strosnider, TCU. This guy's got 26 extra base hits, so we'll go back and watch all of those. YouTube has some stuff on Booth. I guess I'm going to skip him for today then, and maybe we'll come back to him later. All right, so here's Strosnider. I think this guy is also supposed to be an elite athlete. And let's just take a look at these hacks. Left-handed at the plate. Oh, I'll tell you right now, I like the swing. I like the swing right away, and that's oppo power to center. Ball's whacked.
Great swing by Sawyer Strosnider.
Very relaxed, very quiet swing.
Strosnider pulls it fair just over the first base bag.
Here's an extra base hit. Let's see if he gets on 3.
Around first on his way to second.
He should.
Thinking about 3, he's going to try. Here's the throw.
Yep.
It is
Triple.
triple.
Also, a very baseball-y name. I mean, Sawyer Strosnider. You sound like a beast. All right, left on left. Oh, that ball's killed. I like his swing a lot. I like his swing way better than Hacopian's swing. Way better than Hacopian's swing for me in the initial going here. Looks like PCA, you think? Man, look at him shooting the ball the other way, though, too. Definitely got that athleticism for sure. I like his swing. Two-hand finish. I feel like he's got adjustability. You can already see it. It's not particularly scoopy, but it looks like he can handle low pitches and high pitches pretty well. There's not a huge move, so timing issues should be mitigated a little bit. He does have a little bit of a swing load with the lower half, but I don't mind it. It's nothing crazy. That's not egregious. Swing feels a little long, Gyro says. I don't know. Hard to tell. Doesn't feel that long to me. I feel like his hands stay in a good spot. I mean, maybe you can mess with his timing a little bit on that leg kick, but I'm not sure. I like his balance, to be honest with you. Good balance. Young Andrew Benintendi. He's done a really good job slashing balls into the oppo gap on these video clips. Really good job. So I like his swing. I'm a fan of it. I would definitely rate him above Hacopian. Plus, he's a lefty, right, Uncle Ted? Yep, stays through that. Really nice. Oh, I think he blew his ACL out right there. That was horrible to watch. You know, he's got a little bit of a Ben Rice, head down, on outside pitches thing going on. I mean, he's showing me a lot to the opposite field here. A lot of productive opposite field, hit the ball where it's pitched type stuff. Go Horned Frogs. I mean, this is a carbon copy. We've seen a ton of these swings. If you can hit that ball up and away, line drives the other way, they're going to have to pitch you in a lot. And a lot of people are uncomfortable doing that. Oh, and this is going to be a dinger. This breaking ball comes in and he launches this shit to right. I like this kid's swing a lot. I really do. This is impressive, guys. You have to admit, this is very impressive. He's spraying it all over the field with authority. The swing is very under control. I'm sure that he's got more to his game than just hitting, but from the hitting side of things, this is a very good place to start. If Archer swung the bat like this, I would not correct him. I would say, you're doing a good job, kid. Keep going. So, to me, this is pretty cool to see. That ball gets out. Also, that's impressive pop. I know it's metal bat or whatever, but down in.
Well hit towards left field. Going back is Smith. That ball's out of here.
Another line drive oppo. He's showing a lot of power. This kid rakes. And he's got a great baseball name. I'm all in. Man, look at that swing.
Deep right center field. It is going to get down and one hop the fence.
I know highlight reels aren't supposed to suck, but still though, I'm talking more about the way the swing looks and how he's doing his damage. You know what I mean? It's a mixture of a bunch of stuff. So I love these oppo hits that he's getting. That's incredible. We've seen like 3 or 4 of those. It's probably not home runs in pro ball, but I don't know. Maybe in a couple years he's doing that in your favorite ballpark. This is another one.
Hit well towards left field, carrying back.
Dude, that's like 4 of them. I think he plays outfield. I think we've seen enough of the hitting, to be honest with you. So let's back it up a little bit and see what he does play. Fielder, reset. There's so many Sawyers. Sawyer, Strosnider, right fielder. All right, it's kind of hard to scout an outfielder. But let's see what we got here. Ball and play result. What if I have an assist maybe or something like that? Well, here's a double play, so I'm assuming he throws this one at least. Let's see. Oh, Uncle Ted.
Bombers doing the same thing here. This one's in the air to right field. Strosnider makes the play and doubles off the
That was a fairly easy double play. Nothing really to see there. So he plays right field. Don't have a great feel for that yet, obviously. Let's see if there's any other thing that we can figure this out on. Ball and play type. Line drive. Ball and play result. Take that away. And an out. All right, let's watch him field some line drives off the bat for outs.
Steps in now with the runner at second, one away. Check swing, fly ball. Strosnider coming on, makes the catch. Broussard tags and then stops.
Why would he not have an arm in right field? Right fielders is where the guys have arms.
Board over at first base for Riley Jackson.
That was a pretty eventful throw right there.
Right field, tracking it is Strosnider as he moves to the line to make the catch.
He looks fine. He actually has like a pitching mechanic in his throwing. A little bit.
Oh, for Tommy, this is just really in the air right field. Strosnider started one way, comes in, makes
A little bit of Max Kepler. I know that's not the most fun comparison, but you know, a little lefty, Paul O'Neill, Max Kepler. There's him in center. I just like the swing. The swing was elite for me. All right, one more, and then we're going to do probables for today. This has been a nice long stream. Thank you guys for hanging with me today. Yeah, Butch, I'm with you. I'm all in on his swing, man. All in on his swing. Sick swing from this kid. Ooh, terrible video at Baylor. Terrible video at Baylor. Let's just find one more random one, and then I'll do probables. Ooh, a little diving play. All right, that's Sawyer Strosnider. He's also projected right around the top 10 picks this year, so another very interesting player. We've scouted, you know, about 10 or 11 guys. We'll continue to mix them in, especially days that I have more time on my hands, like today. So anyway, that's it. Let me get into probables, and then I will see you guys tomorrow for a shorter stream tomorrow because I have a meeting at 12 across town. But we'll be on for about an hour and a half. All right, here's the games today. Daily matchups. Max Fried, Kyle Bradish, rubber match of a 3-game series in Baltimore. 105 game. That's coming up in 25 minutes. Reed Detmers, Parker Messick, Angels at Guardians. Nationals at Reds, Jake Irvin, Nick Lodolo. And that one, Lodolo struggled his last game, but good to see him back. Rockies, Pirates, Quintana, Mitch Keller. Phillies, Red Sox, Andrew Painter, who's been struggling. And Sonny Gray, who just came back, pitched well his first game back. Rays, Jays, Griffin Jacks is the starting pitcher for Tampa. Wow. And Dylan Cease, who's been awesome. Rays are a different challenge. Let's see. Tigers, Mets, the return of Framber as he's off his suspension. He goes up against Christian Scott, who's looked good for the Mets so far at Citi Field tonight. Cubs, Braves, Shota Imanaga, J.R. Ritchie. Royals, White Sox, Seth Lugo, Noah Schultz. Marlins Twins, Max Meyer, who's been good, and Simeon Woods Richardson. San Diego Padres and Milwaukee Brewers, Michael King, Jacob Mizorowski. So will Mizorowski be coming out throwing as hard? We're going to find out. Very interesting to see. Michael King also looked great on Thursday night in San Diego. Diamondbacks, Rangers, Ryan Nelson, Kumar Rocker. Mariners, Astros, Bryce Miller, welcome back, and Lance McCullers. Cardinals, A's, and Sack, Liberatore, who pitched really well his last game. And JT Ginn's been good. And then our final game of the night, Giants, Dodgers, Robbie Ray and Shohei Ohtani. Back on the mound. I don't think he's hitting again. Looking to go after that Cy Young. He's been electric. Let's see if he can get the Dodgers off of the losing streak. So that's it. That's it. Fun stuff today. Thanks for joining me, and I will be back tomorrow. I'll go ahead and get those timestamps up here as soon as I can today, and we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks so much for hanging with me today, and have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.